Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Have you ever heard of an app called TapTapSend?
No, but I would like to know more.
TapTapSend is the best money transfer app in the market, with one of the best rates. It's also fast, reliable, convenient, and has no sending fee.
Wow, how do I sign up?
Just head over to your Google or Apple Play Store and type TapTapSend.
Thanks.
Don't forget to use code ACLASS for free £5.
Yankutuna nasio nyameno no yanana sia wa maya tamfo atishoko hey dia wa ne dia no no wayama na yamenwanwa hey wayama na timwa atamfo atishoko Ghana for me the unbreakable joy is blessing oh she HRETV kosuana she na be yinshira unbreakable keep it locked.
Check the statistics. What from beaucoup d'État on my big six. We remove all the girls, logistics. You want here top speed, Olympics. Yo, what up, people? It's your boy Natalie, and I'm watching HRETV, man. Keep it locked. Badman operator.
Hello, guys. It's your girl Pamela Odame Watara, and I just want to recommend HRETV for you guys for all your latest interviews. Just stay tuned at HRETV. I love you guys.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching me live on HRE TV. His Royal Majesty. Oh my goodness, I love the name of this TV. HRE TV. Oh my goodness. Just catch us live on YouTube. Just go there, HRE TV, and click subscribe, and then get update on everything that they put there, and then watch them also live on Facebook. When you hear the name HRTV, you are talking about television that comes from the heart. Oh, HRTV. Oh, makuma tomi emwati. Me that one say. Good morning, children. A B C D E F G H R E H R E T V. Go and watch HRE TV. Bye bye. Right.
Yo, ebusuafo ne adofo ye mamun nyina akwaba ebiom eba HRTV so musom for HRPK in there meeting gwa kese de so na menemo eba betwetwe nkomo se na monim no memenda nwuma bia dwumede ye de bra mo ewo maboboa ano no sa pepepe enendeti and the Arise Ghana Youth and ye di dwumede esha edika esha ase Arise Ghana Youth na chese ye patch say meburu na wo Ghana memu no anase ye bibidi memu no mo sori waka na mo fa makotade enhye na mo fa madwene ensi form na mo se the way ya amamu ni si kono no eye ma anase enye ma se sa na tiase na be hye dwumede na se me pese me fa sa akonya isu na afedia aboafo maso ye sene aye di dwumede ebrom no ya da omo ase kese pa Titro abafo di kan yebedo amase any feel good services adaroma and the dwumede airbrow say ka adwene apomden anasa adwene nimde ewo yare ahodo bebra koso adwene mu dia na feel good services na mekanfo amanwo any webusuafo enyina feel good services tra kwan ewo feelgoodservices@gmail.com na mo no medin kita ho ama bibia aye kama Sasu na mekanfo Happy Glow Ghana ama say pebebia maybe pedicure papa na say manicure papa dia and I say bia after manicure no here facial explanation bia facial explanation me patch say o tutu anim na say portus kakra bia wo bia no afele kama sana Ghana akwan air course no sa na ti MPP for so mo to Ghana akwan kama nti ukọ Happy Glow GHR ohonom no mde wenim nyama nyina betu dwa kama na afedie SCP esita Happy Glow right upstate veggies and grows ewa Sherman Estate odu honoma mo number na da fidie dis wa atwa spedie no from na catch se pikin small na do discount for le kama yo so na afedie top up abba. Tap Up is here to stay. Tap Up is the only platformer Ghana sini a ekoso a chese pe movies a dokru mu anase edi mu kama na ni nyina wo Top Up. Top Up ase sini kukuo bi a ya bono bede a chese ye de Ghana fo nyina mo all the movie lovers anase film lovers ni nyina no so open movie a standard no wo shro a obetima hwe movie no so no we de ma hwe movie ama movie no SCP esita and the Tap Up na me e kan for ma o se oba na be subscribe ya very very free o friend say download the app na free you don't have to pay for downloading the app but so subscribing na 1 month subscription on $4.99 but 3 month subscription now for every 1 month be $3.99 not just for every month for the 3 month subscription you are saving $1 won't pay we now per day per Top Up with your coin ye Ghana ni na ye Netflix standard just say ye di dwumedie kama it is say it's to support your own and your friend say media supporting made in Ghana and yema and the enumre yemni MPP 4 impanyifo ene ba bedi dwumedie any NDC for so impanyifo ne ba bedi dwumedie na aboafo ba so masene just say bedi dwumedie eba and I say be am a guest for tonight omiamiensa but mienu ne wasisia first one no yenwa bema Norbert Norbert na that's why Gina Tari dey say but akay ne kenega me share the same to you come share and MPP for ne be kasa ma share that na me NDC for no ahihye ho nti me dey pass e man share batakari no Mr. Obaso na wa share aba me Obaso na wa share ma me do hwa my friend is Independence Square na just say Freedom and Justice no maji wo mechi de no so ati say Black Star Square no maji wo mechi de no where right next to Independence Square no so who ni side na just say Rise Ghana you dey near break ye be kan ye koso because the star behind me represents something that we all have to reflect and make sure say ye sooner ye dear. That is what it's about. Tienya Bema Norbert Bennett, and I say Bill Bennett, NDC for communications officer, US Ohio, communications officer, Ohio. Now see a court Yenya Bema Francois. Me they do I'm different than Francois. Actually, Yenya Norbert, St. Augustine's represented the NDC. From St. Augustine's. I'm soup. Just about me. That's right. And I Bema Francis Ewusi Donko. And I said Francis Donko Ewusi. They didn't know to me interchanging the come. I say, Obo 8 now, Obo 10 no. Baby out to the player no L2 man the FA. Ewusi for Miss Francis about to us so ban wa share video na my na yetimi ama edujumede na mana kama. Ya me huma sele hu say ye be pon a na nkofo bebre abegu so na ye be pon na the questions na doso. Yes na Francis person answer ni na mama ne kwan a na afidi efi show ni so na opemi abomi ano no. Nti Mr. MPP for munya botrema boy. Francis efi the school ana yanka ne say. The school almost say omo de na enye infantipim school infantipim school representing the MPP or Deputy Communication Officer for USA. And I'm Deputy National Organizer for USA.
Deputy National Youth
Organizer for USA. I am posting there young with the cramposi Jumana or Moya no. It's a Francis Anna Awasi on Medini Yedi Jumano or see on no echo botry. It's on your gasco for Becabia, the Odia. Home shed and funny Bebresa. Was as I acquire in this in his waka hodia and then dear. I'm Paya Ebano. Jumedi any any did me the more from questions so embeto question box in him nafi the unit with the kama. Now your final guest no bebano a feel good services and yan bedru I no bedru you didn't beto so no ni ye din in common I'm how and yema AC for Ghana when it comes to Aquentium. side no because of fee Ghana by enchai or call Ghana ye be about the yan of Ghana call Ghana. So a question and name say control about be describe my now say MPP for the kind of credit and NDC for the 2 foot regu and yasia ye who the can if you feel good honor no if you feel good bar they dem let to so sabre nyanom me mamo akwaba eba HITV so
Major PK.
my prepare
Abzu Michel.
Boche. But you say yes, move ultra modern basketball court.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
You ever been on me? I bet share money living on Africa.
What I show mana?
Oh, basketball be a pet away games. It's me come. Yeah, show me a
who didn't play away? On cry your friend say. Oh, that's not a friend who Jordan. Or Kwapsu.
Oh, Jordan. You know me.
Oh, come out.
Oh, that.
Jordan Abanasi. Or catch us the other captain basketball team. Oh, how you are?
Sprite basketball competition. I don't know so many people.
Yeah, can national.
Yeah,
that is a nationally acclaimed basketball competition.
Oh, but that was after we left. That was after we picked all the laurel. Oh, that's incredible.
And as no question so the cast needs okay because no can yeah.
See, I have advancement basketball since I was in class 5.
Okay.
Since I was in class 5.
Since he was in class 5, he had twice. Yo, I was here for yeah, try my match video and I share you media nasi because you person be the jamo. E di ja wo he any muna na osha kan for home na tiba ko chiche mu do 9 na o say di ja ene muna ene nam. And now can kwase o say ye yi we yi body na so an kasa uti ho a ye yi na so an kasa uti we yi we yi body. Enti na we o sa so kan kwase o say oni tuoma ye ni nyawo. Enti misram we ni tuom share video na afi de ya share you media nasi na enya kama. Let me begin with Norbert. Norbert, my question to you is say the topic for today, the topic for today, no. My main fan to so na fedia. I didn't know any kama. The topic for today, no. Or say, why MPP or NDC? Could Ghana have an alternative? Same question, Norbert. Say me obi busa same question where. Why MPP or why NDC? Now I want you to in 5 minutes. I want you to just break it down in your own understanding. Don't be political. Just have a stand. Say, MPP and NDC, no. Why should it be one of you guys? And come NDC for But just give me your general knowledge about why MPP and NDC. And could Ghana have an alternative? No?
Because I'm saying my presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, and I church, Professor Nana Puku Ajimai, name say, Asana, Bopo, and the Ghana Focus. The chairman, national executive, so national chairman, Mamia Dazi, me Ohio chairman, Sam Allen, and executive Jerry, all the executives of Ohio. National executives are Ghana NDC. My boss was Sabana, OTA. Would be some question. A very thought-provoking question. Why MPP or NDC? See, right after independence, Ghana knew CC. It was a one-party state which needed the new formation of the country, Ghana. Ghana went through its phases. The same Ghanaians who had hailed the idea of one-party formation state, to get us on track, This was the same Ghana for who thought, it's time. I say, I think I've lost sound.
No, me talk.
Good.
Position who are camera man boy, Mr. Position or camera like in the middle. So now you putting commercials on the side and cutting face. What could you left it Brefin? No, the other side.
All right.
Call your mommy. There you go. Aha, as I said, don't feel that's it was.
You see, time you're free independence as a country. We were then a one-party state. In Ghana, for Pinano, were saying so. No, we need an alternative. We need an alternative. Truthfully, there came that time through a military revolt. The National Liberation Council for by to around Coma, and then there was that formation of UP, and there were other branches of parties who came after. Yɛhwɛ trail na from 1966 ɛkɔba 92 a signed drafted a new constitution which was supposed to guide Ghana, leading us into the Fourth Republic now. There were a lot of parties then. Eagle Party, which later became Eagle Party, PNC, Akoko, good old MPP. There were strong parties then. But amongst all these numerous parties, you realize there was a common idea with which resonated with these two parties, NPP, NDC. And you ask the question, why these two? Because these two parties, whether we like it or not, were formed out of the base, the people, the grassroots. Most of the people who came to join NPP or NDC broke away when CPP dissolved. Some ended up in NDC, some ended up in NPP. We can talk about the likes of Dr. Konadufo, who is in NDC now. We can talk about the likes of the national chairman of NPP in the person of Ora Freddie Blay. So you see, sir, if you have the top hierarchy, no more breaking away from a high-ranking party like CPP in poor. Now, I'm joining either NDC or NPP. Then there has come to the time and clear understanding, say these two parties have come to stay. And in any democratic nation, you end up with an issue of two top political parties. No one will say, there's no need for a third alternate. In my position as a person, not as an NDC executive, competition is good for the consumer. So if there was a good, formidable third alternative, and there would be that awareness, say, either NDC, MPP, bench 4 years. Because there's that third option. Bench longer than 4 years because we be a third person, so also back and sign so say 8 years now, we track around, bench actual. Honestly, no, it is NDC, MPP now because of the formidability, because of the grassroots, the base. So,
the question me what I want to say. We're not talking about why those two parties are in existence. So the question is, why should it be always NPP or NDC or Budi or minus?
That is where I was going. How do you govern? You govern with people. Okay, you govern either through you having members of parliament. How do you say and as we speak now, let's say GUM, Ghana Union Movement. How many MPs now wait me? How many members of parliament now as of now or no wait me crampo? I can say these people are formidable enough to win one seat. How do you govern? Do you now govern with a whole union government when all these other parties don't have their own ideologies? You can win an election when you're not formidable enough. So that's why I have to break it down that way, because it is factual. It's either NDC or NPP, because these are the two formidable parties in Ghana. We could have gotten a third alternate party if people will stop breaking away from the CPP, digging it deeper into the ground. Why am I saying breaking away? We also don't break away from CPP because ABI am on the north for the presidential candidates. Some Congress. Now we are compromised. Now that don't mean go and break away na party. We also APC. Dr. Hassan Ayariga, my very good friend, break away from PNC because Dr. Mahama was the one that they voted for to become their presidential candidate. The more they break away, the more they are digging their own grave, because you need to be formidable. If there's no union, you can't come together. And again, mind you, say NDC as a party became formidable NDC through the Great Alliance, 92, Sobekaya. We had branches. And even till now, Crown Pono, your former first lady, not Edward Marons, has a branch. So it would take a third or alternate party to be formidable and be a stronger united front. And I bet you before that would happen. In all honesty, I bet you. So it will still be the MPP NDC unless the people within the MPP NDC get fed up. And the ordinary people like myself, Francis, get fed up, say, oh, okay. To say they are alright, Freddie Blair, they decide say enough of this. Now, yes, yeah, and I said the top-notch people, no, before we back. Now, almost who say they are starting a smaller party, and no pone Francis. I mean, Francis will attest to the fact it might take up to about 16 years before that party can be well formidable. And the only way an alternate party can arise in Ghana is through a youth movement. So I personally was excited when somebody like A+ began that movement. And Kawanye name, the People's Party, the name party, Amba, and a movement. Said they are in Koma Veranda Boys. Said they are Jerry Cadence now. It could have resonated well with even people inside MPP, people inside NDC. And can gradually, you can reassure them, psych them up, and then kakra, no. It turns into a party. But we'll begin that's why you're the party, and then obeying where your mind is. It's kind of a copy.
Okay, Matthias here. So do you agree with him on the case of do you agree?
Based on his policies, based on what he's standing for, Kwame is my very good friend. Mewo Ghana match. We met like 2 occasions. I love the ideology he has. As a youth in Ghana, I mean, let's be frank with ourselves. I think Ghana has come to a point. Last time we make it a statement. A point we would either need to let every Ghanaian come out and understand we need a national agenda. Individual party manifesto mantras has not helped Ghana for a longer period. We need a national agenda. Would you believe there are things written down in the 1992 Constitution and this I can't say party A bar, party B bar on your Ghana for, but who is holding who accountable? The people who are supposed to hold the executive, the legislature accountable for even implementing the things in that constitution from 92, which is the media, which is the watchman, the eye of the people in every country, in Ghana, are not doing so because the
fourth government.
Say,
you see the fourth government,
the fourth estate, the fourth realm. They can do the job because top-notch media phoning are now partisan. They are now being bought. You forget to say you are the fourth estate of the realm. Money wasn't much. And make sure it's a document and 92 Constitution say ex-President Mahama Babi this why he has to make sure say Ghana for Indian Supano, Ghana for Indian good running electricity, Ghana for in Mebunu Ewa guaranteed in Juma and the cashew crop warehouse in Puna Omuvi SS they can go and work whilst they wait for their results and at least gather mobilize some money before they can pay to invest here. These were things that were drafted. Ubejedi say during the Nkrumah time and we were O level, we were A level. Ejuma bi wo White House how you can walk into and work. But then we are not seeing that no more because no one is holding people who are supposed to implement these things accountable.
Okay, but I say I think so you've made your point very clear, and also I'll give Francis the same opportunity to also answer the same question. Now I feel we dig deep into that part of the question. Now before you even go there, but I want to ask you a question. Do you think, say, another party, like I don't say you do understand what A Plus is doing and you agree with him. Do you think, say, if A Plus and the party would it be very good enough to actually compete, make MPP and NDC serious and be on their toes?
Like I had stated clearly, just like I had stated clearly, no. Before you can turn into a party, from Nkrumah Mutayama, and what Jerry also learned from Nkrumah now, you don't begin it as a party. You'll be wrong to do that. Also, at the end, Ashasiano determines the end. If you begin as a party, now that means when I was starting, one automatically you see yourself as the head of the party, correct? One of them who say you should be the presidential candidate into it from that onset. If he sways away from the name party, now or the movement, believe me, for 8 years, Obenya even half of the youth in MPP, NDC branching out to a side because a movement and movement be a mission into your form movement.
So why don't you go start a one with the name movement? Knowing how exuberant you are, why don't you start one with the name movement? Then you put the politicians on their toes.
What if I say you are just letting the cat out of the bag too early?
Okay, Francis, young cop.
Already Pigay make ya washeful. Now make ya my senior brother Norbert. I'm sure say he's my senior. With respect to high school, but my main sign here MPP penning for USA, MPP USA, chairperson and executives, and MPP branch, MPP chapter Cincinnati, and a chairman executives. Now, most important, means here all the gallant foot soldiers that are doing what is necessary with respect to propagating, the message of MPP to making sure that we are retaining power for the good people of Ghana come this December 7th elections. I think, PK, question will be some question Emudopa, and I believe my brother Norbert has done a lot of justice to the question. Yeah, men can be brave. You met me, I can't, and say, Osha, a lot of democracies, all across the globe, they have there's basically an ideological divide, right? I went out after the midfield, and I'm rushing to my office so we can have a very fruitful discussion. But there is basically an ideological space that political parties fill. Into Osha Ghana, ideological political space now. Basically, the MPP and the NDC, we have adequately filled that ideological space.
What can I say? Many ajom.
Intino. You make me and he said there is really an opportunity for a third party, but the way I see it is, say, that third party may never get into power, but that third party will have a great influence on determining who becomes the president. And so I think that is where A+ was going with it, right? So, because in Norbert Khan, you need to have a very good grassroots game, right? And so it's having representatives in parliament, and then from there, you actually get the power to go on the political debate stage. It's very hard in our political settings in Ghana to do that. And so if you have a movement where you have a lot of followers, then you, even though you know you're never going to be a president or you're never going to rule the country, you have enough followers. Ubit me aswing how what the outcome is in an election. And I think that is where we should be looking at, because once we have that third force who necessarily will never get into power, but has some leverage, to leverage it against both political parties to get what the people want. And no, a bit me aboa. The ideological space has been filled. I mean, it's the same here in the United States, where it's the Democrat and the Republican Party, right? The far left, the left, the right, and somewhere in between you have the centers. But you find them in both parties, and it's the same for Ghana. Intermediate, the way I see it, there could be a third force. That third force may never come into power, but that third force will have a great influence in determining who becomes president. I think that is where the focus should be going forward as a country. And it will be good, because then again, it will help deepen our political engagement as a country. It will put our leaders on their toes and hold them accountable. And it's if such a movement or if such an organization is backed by the youth can push agendas that truly reflect what they want as a youth. And it will be the responsibility of the two political parties to fulfill those agenda, right? Because they know if that movement will rise up again, and they will boot them out. And I think that's what we should be looking at as a country.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it for your breakdown. Abusia funny, I share for that. Miss Anso Kaisa, Miss Robert, so I share video no. Am I yen? Miss Anso Charles, producer director, Jina Fidenechi, Obiemia Fidene from my Yemia, and I could see why is that, and the Jina Fidenechi, Obiemia Fidene. Am I on? On the show, I have Norbert, and I said Bill Bennett, and I'm in the age. Anna Yemia Bema Francis Donko, and then for the MPP, Norbert for the NDC. Bisaso Kamo say you media penal ya the Akunchu Musem Ebe Twaso right after the show, and we are Menko baby. And then did you medina go see 7 p.m. Then did you medina baby. I feel you pra. Let's go to the main question. And I said the main issue for the day. MPP for Munamutabi. So the opposition will have a lot of questions for you, and the MPP will also have a lot of answers to do. But you guys should bear with me when it comes to timelines now. Norbert, my question to you, to MPP, they say, if there is something you love MPP to change, what would that be? Ask him that you answer that question.
If there's something I would love the MPP to change
in the betterment of Ghana,
you be kind of cry actually Ghana for as it is. Se Munyamba be mukram pona. Tell the ordinary Ghanaian the actual financial state of the country. Oba Munsua, tell the Ghanaian the financial state of the country. I will be told ye. What by implementation be a catch the Ghana Nina say the Ami duration say next year for 10 years. Men created the impression say Adiana Maya no media back for good when there are clauses in it. May cannot in both sides, because a part of the political gimmick, even across the globe. Young can details don't share the ordinary Ghanaian. So we leave it to chance. Say the ordinary person should go and figure it out. So if you're not a reading person, we need the akoso. So you just walk around singing the mantra, oh, you see, we're free. We are seeing how cry what USC pono. About for cry said nothing is free. Somebody pays for it. Into to say your mind US your mind yeah say COVID then. And before we say, oh, your brain rebates, we seek free. No, nothing is free in this world. So what I would tell MPP to say, one, no Kreno should be told the ordinary Ghanaian. Number two, I'm kind of say, paint the right impression for the ordinary Ghanaian. Because woman nipa high hopes, nana bua. It makes the person choose two things. Either abato no kra onko to kra. Meka esi se wa nipa MPP new. Edu abato a onko to kra. Because ebia ogire wia so campaign ye breye ebinum de omo cars e cheye. I say yem fanye campaign. I'm a witness to a whole lot because I have a few MPP friends. Omo de omo car to mine ye de koye campaign. Oh, into the Mecca say it cuts across the two political divides. And that's what me address MPP. One guy say me address NDC.
There be maybe see some more questions. Say what would they change?
And I say question Mecca. Say no. O catch me say we address MPP. And I say no guy.
Show fear chance in. Show fear.
Mate, it's you know number two the true picture. My last one number three no. And they say. No matter how competent the person is, the notion of the African and say friends and family politics no queen. And you know crempona. There's always that little opportunity obidi sebi ebufuo beka se wunwentino we this cannot menka obusunintino why you say menka. So to avoid that, there's always that alternative. I'm not sure said this whole world we can get somebody who knows finance, who knows this out of your family for because I'm not sure you can tell me say ABA we good in way healthcare. By force, no open such as a Ghana holding a wunya obia onim healthcare in China on one obey Minister of Health. I'm not sure. I don't buy that concept. It means
okay. Francois, before I mean Busa no better Sebi.
Pick him
all Casanin no credit na say what to mine. And check Anna NDC for ever traba so. Transfer no. President Mahama Eka say or no. Say Minister Bio be ministerial position no. Under no circumstance you beton abaya japade edema minister kono. Beboa.
Okay.
Mo feel swa 2016 from the 1st to the 6th there were signatures of vehicles bought by NDC, Epinifo, ministers, staffers, and a motor car worth of $58,000, worth of $60-something, $40-something, a bit to be crowded to the price of $2,000. How do you answer that yourself after Francis agreeing with the submission? Into something for you to think about. Francis Yanko.
My question today. What is my question?
Robert's question or catch on say family and friends, and also having the somebody you think are the right person in place, even though say that person is still fall under the families, and Monka the crunch for when it's not feasible. And I don't know say not sure you showing the last week. Yeah, basically what I was talking to you about last week. Say I said more manifesto like 1D, 1F, 1C, 1M, I said Bukatabi, ya Canada there, but we said that constituency, Omenia $1 million. Now I'm say, oh, and factories now. I said there's a different explanation always for things not being done. I know now all Charles say if you guys can change that about your party done, it would be great. We are now also got to question about the side.
The game that say I think that we should we should put everything in context. We are two political parties, and I think our approach to governance is totally different. We are a party that strongly believes that with the right opportunity, with creating the right environment, nothing really is impossible. And so what we have sought to do as a party is to dream, right? Is to envision a Ghana that, will live up to, the population growth, right? Is to envision a Ghana that we are able to situate. When all is said and done, we will be truly an independent country. And when I say independence, I'm talking about, making sure we are independent with respect to our energy. We are independent with respect to food. We are independent with respect to, creating a good human resource base that will fire the economy of the future. And that is our vision of the kind of Ghana we want to see. And so we as a party has taken very, very bold steps, and we have made very, very bold promises, right? And these are promises we started making as far back as 2008, right? Promises that, in our national, political dispensations, a lot of people hadn't even thought about. And, even when we made them, people actually said it's impossible. People can take the easy road, right, by making mediocre promises, by envisioning a Ghana, in a mediocre lens. But we as the MPP, we believe very strongly, sir, with the right opportunity, with creating the right environment, nothing can really, hinder the progress of Ghana. And that is what we have sought to do. My brother Norbert can say, sir, we are not painting the right picture, and kind of crunch, Ghana for idea. But the results are there to show. And so I'm sure, sir, many do not some of the achievements of party, of the government. We will make reference to promises we made that, the NDC and many naysayers, thought it's impossible. You can't do it. That with persistence and with dedication and with commitment to the people of Ghana, we have been able to achieve it.
I think that it's just fair to clarify or come mediocre promises.
No, mediocre ain't attended.
To just have the conversation.
Let me make my case. I didn't talk. Quiet.
No, but all kasa one kasa.
I kept quiet. Let me make my case. MVP.
Francis Mekasa. Robert Francis, maybe two in your Francis, or your gentle or bad gentle, one gentle, better fasubi. It's no man can ask him. We really submission after the Wabakasa. Why? Nobel Kasa yet, Francis Yanko.
That is how as a party that is in government, we have always been committed to the greater good of Ghana and Ghana beyond aid. We have a vision for Ghana, and that is the agenda we are prosecuting. And with respect to family and friends that argument has been made again and again and again. Right? PK, Mitiwe, Madam for now, right? We are more like brothers.
If
someday I find myself in a position of power, and I know the competence you have as somebody who has put himself through the mill, put yourself, through school, join arguably the greatest air force in the entire world, and is getting your master's in international relations and national security. And I know your competence, and I trust you, and I know you can help me deliver an agenda.
Okay, but not better first person mention.
Let me go there. If I know you can help me deliver an agenda, right? Nothing. And see, you are a Ghanaian, you are competent, and I know you can deliver. If you can help me as a person in power achieve the dreams I have for the people of Ghana, nothing stops me, because by virtue of you being my friend, even though you check all the boxes, I'm not going to put you, in a position where I think you'll be effective. And say, okay, you have this person in these positions, and by looking at their resume, they don't qualify, but by reason of being associated to the president, they are in that position. That is a fair argument. But when you can't point to me a single person that has been appointed into a position, that person did not deserve it, but the person only got that position by mere virtue of the person's association with the president, then you are being unfair. And mind you, it just so happened to be, say, the president, our president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, comes from a family that, if you look at the political history of Ghana, even when J.B. Dankwa was fighting in Nkrumah, you had people from his family who were part of Kwame Nkrumah's cabinet. And throughout the history of Ghana, throughout every administration, you've had people from that family play very, very critical roles in every political party, irrespective of whether they were left or they were right. It just so happens to be that out of the big six, 3 of them were his relatives, right? That out of many, who had the opportunity to, go to school at the very, early stages of Ghana.
The uncle was one the time the Minister of Finance, who happens to be Kenneth Freitas, a friend said that.
Yeah, and I mean, look at, even when J.B. Dankwa was fiercely opposing Nkrumah, you had people from his family who were serving in the cabinet of Nkrumah. And this is a family that has dedicated itself pretty much to public service. And so if you're not making the argument of they are incompetent, but you're making the argument of mere association through family or through friends, PK, let me land. We stand the chance of relegating some very competent Ghanaians who could otherwise be very instrumental to the delivering of good to the people of Ghana, just because those people are associated to the president. Let us focus on the most important thing. Is the person competent? Is the person delivering? Is the person qualified to be in that role? If the person is not qualified, make that argument. But then because the person is, a cousin of the president, and so he cannot be the finance minister.
2 questions for you. Is that a conflict of interest?
How is it a conflict of interest?
It was our question. Is that
I don't think it is a conflict of interest.
And the reason are you guys not the same people that also raised the same song, sang the same lyrics when Mahama was in power? When Mahama contact Mahama contact Mahama Nyakrampa, he was not even in government. You guys were saying, Ibrahim was not even in government.
So you see, the main argument we have always made with respect to the family and friends argument has been with respect to either the person not being qualified or competent enough, right? Or the person not earning whatever he was getting from government, but the person was getting it only as a result of the association with the president. And for instance, Ibrahim, that signed a bauxite deal here. That deal was signed on the 5th of January, a day or two before the president got out of power, right? I mean, clearly he was getting some freebies, but just merely by association or just by the mere fact that his brother was president. And that is what we have always talked about. And you know,
That's not fair.
the point, if nobody wants to make, you know, a point with respect to somebody being not qualified or not being competent or not delivering on the role he has been assigned, either as a minister or as a chief executive officer, let him make that point. But until then,
so answer this question, a rubber question, but you answer a question, my boy.
Was it? But question here.
A rubber question that does or no?
They may be qualified, but it's not right. We don't know one family holding. Easy. Americano. How many members of his family are in government? How many?
A lot.
How many of them?
40. Over 40.
Name them.
Oh.
Name.
The list.
See.
Maybe Francis, maybe.
Is it that you don't know?
No, not bet.
I know some of them.
Not bet. 40 because Gabi Ochidako has come to debunk that. And
it's not because some of the names.
Francis,
some of the names. It's
Omububo, right? And the names were just interconnected, but there was no relations or whatsoever. But at the same time, I beg to differ on Gabi Ochidaku's statement because this is a family. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Gabi may be wrong because Gabi himself says, Nick grandfather had over
117 kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which was JB Dankwa from the account.
No, JB Dankwa.
No. He said JB Dankwa.
No. That's Sir Oforiatta. The first.
No. Gabi is no relation.
No. I'm correcting you. Sir Oforiatta the first. Had over 117 kids. Over 100 kids.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about Gabi Ochidako said, I said my grandfather JB Dankwa had over 100 kids.
Because Gabi's mom, right, and Akufo-Addo's mom are sisters. That is a connection.
Okay, but JB Dankwa is on Akufo-Addo.
JB Dankwa is Sir Oforiatta's brother. That is a connection.
Yes, and any older brother. So Oforiatta older brother first say, hey JB. But the point I'm trying to make is say Gabi no ain't feel Oforiatta no tree. Or if JB Dankwa tree. That's what I'm telling you. They on feet that tree, or basically Gabi is.
But PK, let's situate this whole.
No, I'm gonna play the video for that point because the point I'm trying to say is say he came to say, oh, we'll be to Gloria Kufu. They're not
related in any way. Related.
They just happen to come from where Akufo-Addo Papa Yedeng, Efi.
They're not related in any way.
And Sophia, I think Sophia also is not related.
They're not related in any way. Related in any way. They can bloat the names as much as they want. And I mean, at the end of the day, let's situate the argument on whether those people are delivering. Let's situate the argument on whether those people are competent in the roles they find themselves in. If they are not competent or they are engaged in certain criminal activities, make that case. But don't say, even though the person is a Ghanaian, even though the person has, is qualified for that role, by mere association of that person to the president of Ghana, that person should not be appointed into that role. That's just my argument.
Okay,
That's it. William, Francis has made a very interesting submission, but I just want to clarify 1 or 2 points he made before I just move on. He made mention of
he has 5 minutes, right? Just to be clear.
Now, Francis, no, you don't determine that because I'm not sure. Say, stop watching on him. Anyways, he mentioned mediocre lenses. Or mention as a yen NDC. We choose to give Ghanaians mediocre projects. I just wondered. That's why I had interjected him. I wanted him to clarify. You see, when you make such comments, you have to specify what are those mediocre promises. He should name about 2 of them for me. Then I can continue my statements from there.
They are 2 mediocre. I don't even recollect.
Oh, Come on.
I mean, seriously. No, and that is not even the point I was making.
All right.
The point I was making is
all right. I get you.
The point I was making is
I'm on the floor.
I didn't
It's
say
okay.
you guys
It's
were
okay.
engaging.
It's okay.
Me say.
Why, Matthias here?
Okay.
Why? I get you now. Why? Very clear. So so you don't even recollect what the medical promises are. Fair enough. Great enough. So PK, let's just move past it. PK asked me to give you a candid advice, not political. I say, what would be my question to you, Anka? It would make your party look decent before the Ghanaian populace. This is something that you would have loved to, on a fair note, I was sitting on, but I guess you just reverted, decided to spend it and make that political. Fair enough. Say, Oka say a country is beyond aid. Well, and you walk around, you go to France and you speak a mantra, you sing along. You see, there is a thing about the Afrikaner, and you see that in most pastors, or say, do as I say, but not as I do. President Akufo-Addo has been walking around meetings with other world leaders. We saw him in France, okay, with the French president saying, say, Ghana beyond aid, then. How can this one person tell the world that say Ghana is beyond aid, but you turn around, you take Get Fund, and then you go to China and go beg for a loan for 10, 15 years. Now, some of them are free SHS. Such a person, I personally cannot take serious. A double standards. When you say a country is beyond aid, that means you see a book. And no, Zimbabwe former president, may so rest in peace. Okay, what he did, and he said we don't need the white people, we can run our own country. What Nkrumah started, and none find Ghana beyond aid. You say that and you walk the walk. You don't just talk. Say Ghana beyond aid. Now Ghana beyond aid. Now you go beg la sulala. What's up China new ho? Now we catch the China ni Brabesi affordable house mamu Ghana. And then under that, let me say, oh, brana be two a year oil, a year gold, bauxite, baby two co. Na eno crown you can say with your war bounce or machines now with the body minano free tax in the free. But me no ordinary Ghanaian because yen China for it, you know. Me person the excavator bagana there. Go to your duty aboarding. I mean, what reasoning is this to our own people?
No better me about. No better me about. And I think so we're gonna go into that one, maybe. Hold on, give me a second, right, Mr. Because I want us to play this part in the power. Give me a second.
There have been some members of my family in every government.
Some members of your family?
My family.
In every government?
But you until?
Yes, from, my maternal granddad, Ofratan First, was prolific in terms of his reproductive prowess.
Prowess?
What should I say?
Okay.
I'm trying to find a nice word.
He had many children?
Yes. I think about 108 or so. And what he did was, he also invested in their education. Indeed, we have his diaries where he used to, all the children, he has their exams results and he will mark it. So he was particular about education. And if you remember, he was the first traditional leader to build a secondary school, Abuakwa State College.
Yeah.
So he was particular about education. So even when the struggle for independence came, his children and his own younger brother, J.B. Dankwa, were very much part of it. Of course, he educated J.B. Dankwa to do his PhD in London. So he was very much interested in education. He had so many children and he educated them. Okay? Even in Nkrumah's government, which my family by and large opposed, when Nkrumah was being brought to Ghana, was coming to Ghana, to pick him up from the port, it was one of my uncles, because it was J.B. Dankwa's driver. So not all of them were educated. Okay, all right. So they've been part of the struggle, very much so. And like I said, I don't see myself as a politician, but it's in my DNA. So I felt that I had a responsibility, and I still feel that I have a responsibility to see how the role, however little that I can play, to help realize the dreams of our forefathers, and not just my family members. You know, the Pilgrims and all of them. You know, so I think that's where you have to look at it from that point of view. Because in Nkrumah's cabinet, you had uncles as ministers.
Amoako was a finance minister.
Yes, Amoako was a finance minister. One time deputy governor of the Bank of
There's an Aaron Oforiatta. What was he?
He was one time speaker.
So this is where it kind of goes into Francis.
Minister for local government.
So not all JB.
And I make say his maternal grandfather, which was Seo Oforiatta the first.
That's interesting.
Obviously. But saying that there's so many of us.
Okay.
And in Buzia's government, I mean, of course, the William Oforiatta was Minister for Foreign Affairs, one time Minister for Education. Ken's father was Deputy Minister of Finance at the age of 32, I believe.
Jones.
Yes, Joseph Oforiatta, Dr. Joseph Oforiatta. And of course, their own brother-in-law was the president and the assistant of the first lady. So they've been part of it. Even if you go to even in Rawlinson's government, we have some family members in there.
Who was there?
Including Ulrich Wabufa.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one-time member of parliament for Tinubu.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was then Abuakwa. Yes.
Abuakwa,
yes. They were. It was all.
It was 92. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, so we are part of we are politically minded.
But it's certainly more pronounced under Akufo-Addo's government, isn't it?
What is more pronounced?
I'm saying representation of the family.
No, we've been there.
Yeah, but the representation of the family is pronounced.
Name them.
Secretary to the president, Nana Santi Bediatu, is a cousin.
He's not a cousin.
He's a relative.
Yes,
of sorts. Okay. Finance ministers, Ken Oforiatta is there. And then there are the others. NBC have a list. There are many.
Mention them. They add people who are not even family members.
Okay.
They add Gloria Akufu.
Yeah, Gloria Akufu is mentioned here. Sophia Akufu is also mentioned.
They are not family members.
Of the president.
They are not.
Not of Oforiatta, but of the president.
But if you want to stretch it, then everybody from Akropo is related to the president, including the late Akufu who died. You know, the general. Yes. General. You know, but they are not. I mean, you can stretch it because at the end of the day, even from it was a relative of ours who went to set up the Akropo for Nkrumah, for a penny. Yeah. You know, so you can stretch it and say that we're all related in some way. Amoako, the rules minister, he's not related to us in any way. But he's counted. He's counted as one of the cousins. He's not related to us.
He's from
Etiwa.
Etiwa.
Yes, my mother is from that area as well. Yeah. My mother's mother is from that area as well. You know, so but my point is, are you going to say that a person like Ken Oforiatta, who resigned from a bank that he has set up, to devote the rest of his life to the NPP and his money, his resources, okay? He doesn't deserve to be a cabinet minister? Would you say that even Gabi, the work that I've done for the NPP?
You better have say, right? Now, maybe our questions are not bit. Does this change your perception right now about the family and friends?
It would not, because I have here.
I just made it clear, said all those people that we're thinking they're not even family. And again, Francis, I apologize on the JB Dankwa because he has made a statement about JB Dankwa being his grandfather before on another platform.
And he is his grandfather.
It makes sense. But I was thinking,
he's his grandfather.
JB Dankwa tree and not the Oforiatta tree. But what my attitude is with Oforiatta tree, but since Oforiatta and JB Dankwa are brothers, you know, he's still considering him as a, you know.
And you see, one beautiful thing that family does, Anka Yasha Akamamu Pa, Anka Gabi would not traditionally be part of the family because it is his mother's father's side of the family. Anka Gabi Beko Nima side, right? But that family they have been able to kind of put it together in such a way that. Yeah, that's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. But he doesn't go to his mother's maternal side. He goes to his mother's paternal side because of how big the family is and how politically involved they are. We can look at how we want to look at it, But then again, if the person is competent and the person is delivering on his task, giving him as a minister,
so not
so
better
be it.
perception right now.
Going
Norbert, Ovidio Natiko.
to the issue of competence, you see,
Arabas is still family friends, lah.
it is because listen to me carefully. Okay? When you choose to sing a song or mantra of competence, don't just sing it when it favors your party. Then you're just being dishonest. You made mention of what? Ibrahim Mahama, okay? Engineers and planners. Francis, I don't know whether you know this, but Honorable Kennedy Japan, on one of his delivery on national TV, was specific and very emphatic. I say, Ibrahim Mahama, Ghanaians don't know, made more money under Kufuor.
Yes, and Ibrahim has said himself too.
You understand? But people don't know this. You understand? And it's so much unfair when you talk about competence and sound like President Mahama Tehona one day he signed a decree. That bauxite deal went through Parliament. So what are you talking about? What person will check Ghana for? What to Gusebe? Ghana for him say Mahama knew say he's about to hand over it. You know, I'm at next day now. And
I mean, wasn't the deal signed on the 5th of January 2017?
Did they go to Parliament or not?
No,
do you
wasn't
know
the
that
deal
or you
signed
don't?
2 days?
That's not the point.
I mean, you can't
Francis,
say
let's get
you
it
can't
clear.
say I'm
Did it
factually
go to
incorrect when
Parliament
that
or
deal
not?
was signed
No,
on
you're
the 5th
factually
of,
incorrect because you're
January
painting an impression.
2017.
It is factually incorrect when you paint an impression as say the president by his own veto power signed a document.
When
you're not being truthful.
When you are giving out,
if a document goes to Parliament and you are leaving office, you are mandated to sign the document. If Parliament has passed the decree and you are leaving office, it's
when you are signing when you are signing a deal that is worth
a different one.
$5 billion.
A different one.
Okay, so right now,
a question being it's
okay.
Okay, question
Yeah, right now, what is your main focus on the?
My main focus is when you talk about competence. I am trying to stress on the argument of competence because it seems like the MPP overnight want Ghanaians to understand. Say, Ken Ofori-Atta, as a banker, was very competent. Decided to say, "Oh, Ghana needs my help, so I'm going to Ghana." So, there's no other person so competent within the MPP. So, if you make Ken Ofori-Atta finance minister, being a cousin to the president,
Can't just move to Ghana. Do you know how long Data Bank has been in operation?
Hold on.
How long has Data Bank been in operation?
Why is the interjection here now? Hold on.
What are you talking about?
When you talk about competence, do you know how long engineers and planners have been operating in Africa? You see, Ghana for year, and you see, it's very sad because MPP has that tendency to say the party will not support the ordinary Ghanaian, but rather, the Ghana precious minerals, because Ghana need to the MPP. If the person is not a relative from the Achim side out to the MPP, or you're competent, and it's a very sad perception that the MPP carries in Ghana. Because listen to me carefully. Ibrahim Mahama, bauxite deal. PK, just go and research. Like 2020, Ibrahim Mahama himself had a deal after losing MPP for being so vindictive. He losing that contract. They took it back from him because they thought, say, Mahama na Eddie Amman because he's the brother. Ibrahim got the same contract in DR Congo. Would you tell me, say, Ibrahim Mahama, DR Congo president, thought, say, oh yeah, Mahama brother, he's not competent enough. Engineers and planners are not so competent. And the DR Congo president said, Kache, Bramiko na betu bauxite. You see, the mindset of MPP ought to change. The Ghanaian needs support. You have been so much vindictive, and the Papacy Indum cannot even fend for his ordinary people. Okay? He had hotels that were operational. He had a credit union that was licensed. Okay? But because the person does not sing your song as MPP, never see a good wage man. Because say, we have bankers like you can say Ken Ofori-Atta, let's consolidate the banks. You cannot run a country with that perception. We are sir. Now,
What do you mean by that statement? What do you mean by that?
PK, can I think my brother has exhausted.
I have not exhausted my time.
What do you mean by that statement? What do you mean by that
What statement? What statement?
Uncle Park, you know, because you said you made a statement. Basabi Samantias here. What do you mean by that?
Basa saying,
say,
tell me how much the banks needed.
No. Who statement that make it right before they say consolidated by no moon now. I'm going to something like that. My person misquote you.
Are the main brains behind the Consolidated Bank Ghana.
And then me until we know the market.
Those who stood their grounds and decided, say, instead of government to give monies that those banks needed to sustain their daily activities, no, they would rather bring them together, no, go and see, I say, who are those behind the banks. The same can.
PK, can I come in here? Oh, PK, let me address my brother.
How many minutes have the man? How many minutes have the man?
Okay,
5 minutes if so.
PK, I won't waste my time dwelling there because the ordinary Ghanaian knows, I say, that
but
whole...
what food drug you need, so you have to waste the time and all over there to explain what you just said.
Who was behind the bank consolidation in Ghana?
Also, do I know
who was behind? Who initiated the consolidation of those banks in Ghana?
No, Mr.
What were the banks? No, was it not the finance minister? And who is he?
Okay.
I don't know.
What is the motive to do good?
Because the motive is if you have 7 banks, okay? If you have 7 banks that need 500 million Ghana cedis to run, to keep their employers working with them, okay? To still keep trading, so customers can come in the bank and withdraw their monies. Now say you choose, say no, yeah, boom, okay? You would no longer be operational. We are bringing you all under one umbrella, under one bank. One bank, we will not employ those people who are working. If one bank was employing 20 people, one bank now, no, it is a whole umbrella for all those 7 banks. No, you can only possibly employ like 30 maximum people. So all those people who are working in those banks, no, what would they? How would they fend for their families?
Okay.
Then you try to tell the Ghanaian SA, we are way in the good of that, and then you spend more than what they would have need to keep their banks running.
Okay.
If you're asking the ordinary Ghanaian a very common sense question, you're spending more to consolidate these banks than you using that funding not to rather keep them operational.
Okay, for one to see. Francis.
Yes, sir.
Twasso.
I'm very happy my brother brought this whole banking system, banking crisis issue here.
Francis, before I hold on. Abusiafo, Anashafo.
Hey, Senior Filippo, Dr. Phil.
Lekasa.
Hey.
Francis Edina Lucia, what we're gonna do is say, Yebema feel good at my journey to Ghana and back from Ghana, no airport. According to you, no $150, no your friend to say. COVID test now, so you will have to say BB, I don't know, and just take it from that angle. So and see say what the MPP is, because some people have some questions about that one, so we have to actually address that issue as well. Francis Yango.
Thank you very much, PK. I think sir, my argument still stands. My argument still stands. I don't think my brother has been able to effectively argue the point with respect to whether we have appointed people in government who didn't deserve to be there. But
I was going to give you a list.
Pacho.
I had my list.
You
kept me dwelling on your word competence. I have to explain to you, sir, competence. No, it has to cut across NDC and MPP.
Right. Francis, don't call me for interjection. Don't do PK. When I start to start, brother, and I granted what he does worse than you. But when I start to start, the was on a PK. No, we will not do that. You are in power. You have to answer every interjection question that he has for you. Norbert,
I believe, sir.
God be video near share no. To me, no. I'm a yata say or no or Tijano catch and say a dear bobo capo when you bush for. One more time, couple say, Asanti Bedu Capo cousin. and your cousin or your family member or your cousin. So that means you know or your second, third cousins. What's American accident? So with that being said, it's unless you say you know those 40 names, for a fact. You know those 40 names for a fact. Those are cousins. They fall under the umbrella tree of Oforiatta and JB Dankwa. Those two brothers. If you wouldn't say that for a fact, there's no need for us to dwell on that part. What am I saying, sir?
When
I said that.
Sir, those 40 now, are you sure, sir, they fall under the umbrella of Oforiatta and JB Dankwa?
I was going to give you a list of names. Majority of them. Board members, National Theatre.
You can't minister. Anyone want direct Abaimu?
No. You can say you are given appointments. Nasa Oma Obiti said, Kwesi Kuntu Asante, board member, Ghana Hostels. Now we know for a fact that say he's a brother to Asante Bedietu. And then we have a list of Onwan and Ado, Bajan Kroma, daughter of the president. That's an idea overnight. Moka say she's not family member there. Who is also board member of creative arts. Now you tell me it's a competent.
Okay.
And you be a Jan Kroma, your actress, Anna.
Oh yeah,
and you be a Jan Kroma, your musician, Anna.
Oh yeah, artist. Francis,
backing vocalist. What are we talking about? Competence.
My brother Kofa, this whole banking crisis. I mean, we can argue that point, but let's go to the banking crisis. Let's go to the banking. Okay, I started scribbling down, some facts, and I think that arguably one of the most decisive decisions that the president has taken to restore sanity to Ghana's financial institution was the consolidation of the banks and eventual collapse of
how much did it cost?
Never.
Tell Ghanaians how much it cost you.
So
tell Ghanaians, be honest with Ghanaians. Tell Ghanaians how much it cost you. Yes, never say I can't share Ghana for how much it cost you. Now also no share Ghana for how much did the bank?
Wait, sir. The viewers, we are not given.
We need to educate the viewers. The viewers want to know how much it costs. How much it costs.
I think, sir, you have.
How much did it cost?
You did it how much did it cost? I should
it's just fair. How much did it cost? No, because you say you have the facts. I have
That's
the
my
facts.
point. So let me make my case.
Go ahead and tell Ghanaians.
Let me make my case. Come on.
Sure,
let me make my case.
Sure.
Because as far back as 2015. As far back as 2015, there is something we call asset quality report, right? That is done by the central bank as far back as 2015, right? That report said there was so much bad loans in the system that if the banks were to take care of them, many of the banks were going to collapse. 2016 stability report from the central government. Yeah, bad loans. I don't know my brother's background, whether his business or whatever, but bad loans had increased from 2014 from 2.72 billion Ghana cedis to 4.52 billion in just a matter of a year. Bad loans is just banks now alone, but they're not they're not in a position to pay back, and so they have to write that off. Almost 100% increase. There was an economic financial data report that came out, in 2016. It said non-performing loans had moved from 11.2% to 19.3% from 2015 to 2016, right? And what should the response the NDC gave to all this basic structural financial problems that the banks was going through? There was so much inefficiency in the banking system, but as they have done and they continue to do, they refuse to think outside the box. So what did they do? Capital Bank, in a matter of 8 months, from 2015 to 2016, a total of 620 million Ghana cedis was injected into Capital Bank. UT Bank, 860 million Ghana cedis from February 2015 to May 2016. Unibank alone, Unibank alone in a space of 8 months took 3.1 billion Ghana cedis from the Ghana government, all in attempt to sustain the banks. But then again, when the fundamentals are not right, when these banks are giving out loans that people are not paying, when these banks are using their money whichever way they want it, and your solution is to throw more money at them without fixing the fundamental problem, that money is going to go right down the drain. And so that's what happened.
Okay. The fundamental problem is regulation. Who regulates the bank? Bank of Ghana, right?
Okay. No, but the question
if a bank decides, I say you give a loan, I'm a banker.
Let me make my case.
I'm a banker. Let me correct you here.
Let me make my case.
If a bank decides, I said they will give you, Francis, a loan and not take collateral, you cannot blame any government for that. It is the regulator's fault. So it is Bank of Ghana who needs to do due diligence and ensure that every bank goes per the banking policies.
Robert, I did your 2 times, so they are twice. This is why it's all stable interjections.
Oh yeah, McLean now.
Because
you can't give a loan without taking collateral. I mean,
maybe to the Francis Yanko.
So the point I'm trying to make here is there was a fundamental problem that the NDC refused to fix. Their easy way fix in their mind was to throw more money at the banks. And so they threw more money at the banks without making no fundamental regulatory changes. There was none, zero regulatory changes that they made from the central government, from the economic management team, but they decided to throw more money to the banks. And that's what we decided not to do. We decided, said there was so much inefficiencies in the banks, and the monies that we have given them, they had not effectively utilized them, and those monies have gone down the drain. And so we had a decision to make sure that we were building a resilient financial sector where people will have faith in the system, right? Where businesses.
So, Norbert, you made a question about who regulates the bank, and it's the Bank of Ghana. But at that time, Bank of Ghana not to say a wunipa. Who come for the net is Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah, me too.
Who come for the net is Bank of Ghana, right?
Yes.
So why do you ask Francis that question? I said,
I asked him that question because no. I asked him that question because a bank, before a bank becomes a bank, you cannot tell me, say, the person who was the head of Bank of Ghana before, say, Beige Bank, a bank, was NDC. That is incorrect. If that means that you did not watch the documents of Beige Bank and then you decided that Beige Bank should operate, you didn't watch all the documents of Capital Bank and then you decided that Capital Bank should operate.
Oh, you are switching what I just asked you.
I am not switching. Before a bank operates,
follow me.
We can get a difference clearly.
Follow me, Q. Francis, analysis and statistics, data of money that were collected under a specific time.
The data there was money that was given to the bank to keep them afloat without fixing what the fundamental problems were.
That's the same thing that I'm saying. And at some time now, this says Kanema banks. Who Bank of Ghana and you come back and tell Francis and say, who regulates that money? Bank of Ghana. And at that time, no Bank of Ghana, who depend on So how do you put that question to Francis? And I'm say
Bank of Ghana,
continue.
Bank of Ghana is not operated by MPP or NDC. Let's get that fact clear.
I asked you a question, say, at that time, the Bank of Ghana, when the net is
what's the one net is so the fact is that the appointment is made by the sitting government does not mandate Bank of Ghana to sing the tune of the president. Get that fact clear. Because no governor, you work with people. Most of those people you are working. Hold on.
The reason why I would not allow you to proceed in this, we sit in a country whereby we say every political party be about electing the EC. Or let it EC, and we go back and say the EC is not under the mandate, the mandate of the president. It's in here autonomous body.
You elect
At the end of the day, the political
listen to me.
party that elects the EC.
If you elect the boss of the EC is different from Bank of Ghana. Okay, let's get a difference.
Okay.
Are we trying to tell listeners and viewers, these banks, Union Bank, Beige Bank, Capital Bank, they only came to existence in Ghana, your license to operate, and they gave their outline of what they would do, whether they'll give out loans, whether they would sell bonds, do whatever. They had the license to operate when we had an NDC nominee as governor. Is that what we want the world to understand? Let's get the facts right.
Can I answer him? You see, that's why I started from the point I was trying to make with this analysis was the fact that if the NDC were being truthful to the people of Ghana, these banks really had collapsed. That is the crust of the argument I'm making. These banks.
When you have politicians within NPP who would go to these banks and take loans for campaign without
that these banks really had collapsed, right? And the solution the NDC prescribed to a clearly collapsed banking sector was to throw more money at them. And that is what we decided not to do. We decided as a party to make sure, we're going to fix the rot that had, infested the banking sector and consolidate them. And in doing that, we had in mind the Ghanaian. And no depositor who had his deposit in any of these 7 banks that were consolidated lost their money. And just so you know, about 90% of depositors, let me make the point clear, about 90% of depositors have received their money. The remaining 10%, who so happen to be those that have the most money in the banks, the government made a commitment to pay them in a period of 5 years with bonds. The government of Ghana, being thoughtful, has come up with a creative way for the Bank of Ghana to monetize those bonds. And I mean, if my brother if he's in business, that's fine. But if he's not in business, you can call those bonds and monetize them, and that's what we have done.
Because that's your bank is too bad.
No, PK, the point I'm trying to make is here. My point really is, you can say, we should have thrown more money at the bank.
How much did you spend?
Oh,
Francis.
No. You see, let's
PK. My brother, it was not about how much we spent, because if we had spent an additional almost $5 billion without fixing the fundamental problems that existed in the financial sector, that money would have gone down the drain the same way the almost $5 billion that was.
Okay, so you've made that point clear. Already. Let's proceed. This point might feel good. I'm not feeling. A quick 5 minutes. On the top of my why MPP or NDC? As where you sit and how you sit. Why MPP or NDC? Could there be an alternative?
Yo, medasi. I hear for me, Mamuna, Ajo, and
631, it's 636 fed on me. But
introduction. But why MPP, why NDC? Unia Abekronsa. Dear, me beto so na Brian Norbert in my brother Francis Ekenino. They are just putting it here or there. Unfortunately, as it stands right now, Ghana doesn't have a third force to be the alternative. And media say between the two, you weigh the lesser evil that you can live with, and then you go with it. Because Siesha, throughout the Fourth Republic, whereby or say no, it's just about the same thing. No, talk about bebre. How come they say electoral commission, which is supposed to be an independent body, Yet Obiaba or person is the chair of the Electoral Commission. I don't get it. And it's in the Bank of Ghana, which is supposed to be an independent body. Obiaba or person is the chair. And where is professionalism? Why can't we have professionals run something without the interference of politics? But it's so bad, so say the fabric of our country, is so woven into politics. It could be interpreted as MPP or NDC, right? Abra 2016 elections, Nanado Kodum Kalipo na after the Ben Nanado Kalipo no. So NDC ni nimu as NDC ni Asheno Kodum Kalipo. Because it could be a sign of, say, you are betraying the NDC and following NPP, because now Kalipo is linked to Nanado. It's quite unfortunate to say a whole country, over 60 years, we still continue to tell these lies. The lesson of a wise, and as I say, a wise man is the one that learns the mistakes of the wedding. And yet, the Obeka say, experience is the best teacher. Hence, they commit the same mistakes that their predecessors have committed. And listening to the debate between MPP and DC, sometimes I feel say we just really like mutuya yasobwa. And no matter than they know better. Say in the next 4 years, the tables will turn. Francis will be saying what Norbert is saying, not exactly what Francis is saying. And can't we move past this? And this is Arise Ghana Youth, right? My drink Akreni. If we could move past the traditional politics where everything is decided strictly based on party colors and go into substantive issues, oh, an MPP say, or an NDC say, okay, what is in it? Let's discuss what is in it versus MPP, NDC, CPP, but MPP, NDC. But the issue then we'll just be going around it. I think Ghana has more issues that needs solutions to than MPP and NDC.
Yes. And I think I totally agree with you. Actually, crap on OTBBT by 1 minute. And I'm going
to. Francis didn't know better. Agrees with me.
I'm referring to say, and if they don't crap now, you see, this is why me have a problem with both political colors. Say, as if say, we were Bemwa, no, we have a Casase Troka, no better Bemu, nothing, they will become the same thing. And they always try to justify the old thing with the new thing. Mama didn't Basa, as in Kumania, Basa, and Kumana Tronida, that's a Nina so account. Transparency.
The word is transparency. You be so someone say I hear mode yeah. Multimenka. You catch them someone check Ghana for here mode yeah they are multimenka. My argument has always been since the last time I
spoke. 1 minute 30 seconds. Now, just say whatever you have to say real quick to debunk whatever we hear or correct whatever he said. No, 30 seconds. Now I feel good. So
Francis,
then I continue.
Francis, banking sector kept saying, we NDC kept pumping money. Yes, we did that one time. We're trying to ensure, they are autonomous banks. The government of Ghana at that time did not need to tell them what to do. It was the job of the Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana governor was appointed by us. But understand, for the record's sake, those banks have been in existence, not when NDC had appointed the Bank of Ghana boss. So let's get that clear. Bottom line, we were here in US, but didn't you hear say Unibank and some banks and they were towing people's cars because people were not paying their loans? What to be done? There were banks who were seizing people's lands in Ghana. Obikra okojuma na neka obenwane se yababeto. It is a bank, individual bank decides, say, no will not follow the due process. A Bank of Ghana, which is the regulator, sets aside for every bank to follow. Say, oh, Malona, take a collateral. That's how you choose to do that. How can you blame a government being MPP or NDC? You're just not being fair to the Ghanaian.
30 seconds.
When you talk like that, you're just not being fair. Real quick, me perceive Francis say, if you spend 18 billion Ghana cedis, okay, me patrol. to consolidate 7 banks into one bank. Now in Kofonjuma 60 and over become unemployed because you can't hire all those 60 people in one bank now. What you know? And those banks needed 9 billion with regulations being enforced. And one yet, so we cut you down, just like we move you from bank to credit union. If you can't, we move you from that to Su Collector, whatever they can do now. Then you need to understand, say, one yard because you spend double of what the banks need to stay afloat.
Okay.
And then you take say another one.
Norbert, over 3 minutes. Phil, go quick now. Francis, over the next.
No, I'm just, as I said, moving beyond the party colors. If we are saying, say, we can blame NDC for the pumping of money, and as I said, the bank do a sana NDC, right now. At the time of establishing, this is just a question, I'm not saying this is just a question. At the time of establishing, were they meeting the requirements that they needed to establish, which is very different from requirement of operation. What must I say? And the go ahead to establish, which meets the requirement. Now for the operation, while operating the year, I agree with Norbert. It shouldn't be the party, it should be the regulators. Then, if also another regulatory body, and as I said, the head of the regulatory body, no, I can't say Debbie, this approach I can't continue. Therefore, me consolidate here. If we can blame the NDC for the more functioning of the banks, then how can we blame NPP for consolidating the bank and not the regulating body?
Exactly.
Phil. You see, it's quite astonishing listening to my brother, Norbert. I mean, it's quite very astonishing. You got him say,
how is it?
At the end of the day, we have it is the running of the economy really is the job of the government. And so we have an economic management team in which team you have the governor of the Bank of Ghana, who is a part of it. And so nothing happens, especially with the economic management of a country's economy, without the finance minister and the president involved, right? No, Bank of Ghana has no power to decide to give Unibank $3.1 billion without the approval of the finance minister. It won't happen. It won't happen. And so the economic management of the country, right, falls on the government. The financial regulation of a country's monetary system falls, in this case, on Bank of Ghana. But nothing is done in vacuum because managing the monetary sector goes hand in hand with managing the economy of the country. And so no decision, right, was taken without the involvement of the president. And the fact that Norbert is making excuses and saying that the Bank of Ghana could do whatever they had to do, it's totally false, because there is an economic management team that is responsible for managing the economy of Ghana.
How is that false when Bank of Ghana is a regulator?
And the Crown said, when we came to power, these banks had literally collapsed, for which reason an amount of over 5 billion Ghana cedis had already been pumped into these banks. And so without the pumping,
you collapsed those banks yourself. They were not collapsed. You collapsed them.
Okay, ask yourself, what would have happened? What would have happened if Unibank had not been, given the taxpayers' money amounting to $3.1 billion just to stay afloat? It would have collapsed before we came to power. What would have happened if UT Bank had not received $860 million between February of 2015 to May of 2016? All these were attempts that the Mahama government made just to keep these banks afloat. He was not decisive enough to take the bull by the horns and say, hey, you guys are, doing what is not right. You guys are engaged in, several financial malpractices. And so for which reason, you guys it's either we're going to consolidate you or we're gonna make sure that you guys are abiding by the rules. That's what leadership does. That's what Obama had an opportunity to save Lehman Brothers. He decided not to.
Okay, Francis Otamaso. Obama had opportunity to save Brothers now. Phil,
and he saved GM, right?
That's the point. I mean, these banks are literally all saved.
He did not go consolidating GM.
Are literally all saved.
In his wisdom, he did not go consolidating GM with Ford.
So,
Ford, right?
No depositor has lost a peso.
So at this point, he's talking back door. Nobody's hearing what he's saying. But Pawacho, you guys have to just give me the reference for us to do this show. But I must say, oh yeah, I'm back to back door. They are proceeding, yes, sir, because exactly. I know that you're about on the fault is both. And at the end of the day, when we're dealing with this now, you guys should give the viewers the opportunity and the decency. So, and 2 questions to the mamo. This is not the time for you guys to go at each other's neck. How can we proceed from this stage, and just make Ghana a better place? This is what the youth needs to arise and stand against those kind of policy and sweet gimmicks, friends saying political communication. We are tired of you guys. Both NDC and MPP, we are very tired of you guys. Because they be 35 questions to MPP, or many answers. You 45 questions to NDC, or many answers. Why? Because that is what you guys do. So, Phil, now a lot of people are actually complaining about $150 at Yejo Airport. Ebi mu almost stand. Ebi say $150 at Yejo Airport. Na ye ebeboa. Ebi so say $150 at Yejo Airport. No. Amount for LGG they acquire with friend is saying I'm campaign. Now calculate so far nipa here I could do Ghana. That's over $1.5 billion. Minimum say $1.4 million with my campaign there. Ebi so say $150. No.
I just want to give an honest assessment on that $150. This is not political. This is based on research.
No, the bedus will be so best at bedus into the bedu.
You matter.
Ebisu say $150. No. Say
when an NDC man says an honest opinion, be careful. Be very careful. I'm just saying.
No, don't tell me that right now. Can you do so? You guys do that now. Do worse to you guys. They come chill seriously. And there I lose my train of thought. So if you say $150 now, but a waste of money. Why should I pay for the COVID test in wherever origin of country? If now we could do Ghana, what's up with Cherry? And one school of thought raised an argument, say maybe because they don't trust the say why yet. Okay, so what does say my idea? And then my man yet maybe why me $150 near then. So I don't have to go extra money to do it and just come back and do it. Phil, we know I Ghana by Bray, yeah. You be a border now, Koi. But you shop past $150, yeah, Jama or a show pa. How do you make of this $150 and also testing over here and the process? I can't type process because the people complaining say line one a be multimedia or pass as a Goro boys were you be timid pass near regular your mama. I mean, seriously, I mean, the me call Ghana since it will be a border and 2 no cover. Take us over there. Let's see how things are going.
Yo, PK.
I want to say. I will stand on the $150 there and also having both tests.
Okay. First of all, Muma Menka said, Sebio, it's not just as I traveled, right? I'm also a health professional. And as the discussion goes on, I can provide my professional opinion as a health professional, right? And I don't know what. So, and secondly, the very details as to my journey and everything, I've done a video on it, which is going to be on my channel tomorrow. Feel Good Services. And you can watch it tomorrow. Then also see how it all went. But for the purposes of today, Muma Menka said, first of all, the $150 now, and as I said, the test now, I was say you tested a war, baby, a war, and son wakono. This is a confusion that came, and as a confusion that comes with it. First one, now the speech my on that Sunday before the first, right? Okay, I say it has to be done 72 hours before your travel. Before your travel. Now, Statement High Commission of Ghana, UK issue. Statement Embassy of Ghana, US I say issue. Said it has to be done 72 hours before you get to Ghana. Who difference a woman? Both statements by the embassy and the High Commission said the 72 hours. No, your test has to be done 72 hours before you get to Ghana.
Correct.
Okay. Pacho say.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, all right. But just obviously that's not correct. I mean, forward.
Correct.
Of course.
Correct.
Anna, the Nanado's speech no make right? The speech na kasa or kan was say also was test why 72 hours and send way to crime before you travel. So that created a big confusion. Say so a year and send way to crime. And now also say and send way to Ghana.
Yes.
Who is also enforcing whether a year before me to crime and I say before me to Ghana. So this is my experience. Now I was me to crime on the 3rd of September. Now me call Ghana, right? Now then I had to find somewhere I was a me test no. Now me the 72 hours and that is where it became so, to be frank, so frustrating. Meanwhile, I made it frustrating enough. I spent almost half a day, if not the whole day, trying to find somewhere that I can test and get the results back in less than 72 hours for me to travel. Now, on the 3rd, the airline changed my ticket and moved it to the 8th, which was Tuesday. Let's notice that the 7th was Monday, the holiday. Wow. Then there was a weekend. And most of these testing centers, the turnaround time did not include weekends and holiday. Which makes it extremely difficult to get somewhere to test and get a result if you have to travel on a Monday or a Tuesday and still have it within 72 hours. So for the few that I told the post, I had to call all of them back and say, oh, I want to Menyanko because I couldn't get anywhere my testing. In most cases, baby, I'm afraid the earliest was 3 days. I'll be results. So even I said, then I'll risk taking the test and then get to the airport, hoping the results will come before I board the flight. Right? But then the weekend issue comes in, and it didn't work. Then actually, I had the thought to say, then let me call my primary care and then do it through my primary care. Yes, they do the PCR test. Their turnaround time was between 24 hours to 48 hours.
Okay.
Then you're able to travel. Unfortunately, this included the weekend and or holiday. Into the Bameko test in the Saturday, then Sunday area and a Mesaka results. So I was able to travel safely on Tuesday. Okay. So Mikotu Airport or Cincinnati Airport. The Delta rep check you act for that resource and son or even will check you in. And it's not just the PCR test. There's also a health information form here as all filling online for the government of Ghana and some to Ghana. Right? And also Busami. I didn't know about that one crap. Into another mammy link, to that website, and I'm a call and I'm a coffee layer. So to Ghana, not so failure, they'll have you fill before you be able to leave. Okay. Into I don't know. So that is the frustration that comes with that 72-hour thing. Now, some will argue, say, is it necessary? Crampo say, you better the test 72 hours. When I get to Ghana, Obesa testing me. There's an argument for both sides. One, NSA, as a health professional, I can tell you, say, and we all know this, the disease takes some time to manifest, and also says for the symptoms to come out, right? And only one thing. So if you argue, say it takes 14 days for the symptoms, now that is not why we are doing the test. We are doing the test to see, say, oh, and I won't. What am I saying? So that is why we are doing the test. Now, if you do it 72 hours, let's say, Osako do Ghana, there is a chance to say by the time to when you get into Ghana, or right before, you could contract the virus. Therefore, we want to check again. Then the argument also comes to say, and you're dating a mean do on now testing me. Some what testing me, let's say, me positive.
Nice.
So me do unless I test him me a positive, then you take me to quarantine. So now the other argument, so they say quarantine, we are still putting people's lives at risk because the health professionals that are supposed to take care of you, a risk in a put you through. I know you one. The second thing is who is going to bear the cost of one local hospital? So I can understand the idea of say testing and background because say about the potential of positive cases that we will test at the airport will reduce. Because if you test and you are positive, then you don't even get to travel.
Okay.
So now, another thing through the travel. My flights in my fees CVG, Edico Detroit, from Detroit to Amsterdam, then Amsterdam to Ghana. We do Detroit almost a busa for PCR test before they'll let you board. You do Amsterdam also almost a busa for PCR test and some I'm our body. Your flight was delayed at Amsterdam for 3 hours because they said there were some issues with a Binum test. I can't tell what the issues were because, of course, that was not disclosed to us. So it's either say the time frame was an issue, and I said some had tested positive, and I also said they been test but yet wanted to board. So the Omonase chair and they said there are some issues with the Binum test. Therefore, they had to drop them. And yes, I say drop your money into that. As almost train almost a question your money now. No more your money fit planning. And said Mayako. So a flight that was supposed to get to Ghana at 9:40 something, we got there almost after midnight. Now, Udru Ghana, what Betesa Okase BC Go Boys be war baby. In fact, sincerely, I can't see how it's possible. I quite will be a journal no catch you. But for what okay. It's we never be official, but on catch you and on the flight near Mayesi 10 by 10. And we get down like the first 10, then next 10 mercy, then next 10 mercy, and there's some interval in between. The idea was to say Sebea Usia, Neteno, start on process, then next one, but Sebea Yin could go be. That was the idea. As to whether it worked out is a different thing. So Musi Sana, there's one foul. We'll see ya then you straight to the testing center the one. There is no other way out. All the beds were via coffee baby. Ama obi you with you. If the rest I didn't see. And I was very particular because some of these things had come up before I traveled. Until I was very particular looking around. So you go through that file, you join the queue. There are two main queue you use to, and there's one for the priority and then the disabled and all of that. Towards the wall, our money use. So you join this queue, you get the you check it or health form now, because say yes or filling or online. Then you also know your passport. Now what your $150. Put your $150 now normally a sticker or passport number and the sticker be made the Ontario passport in the chi. Then you move on to the next stage. Then you go and then you test a nasal swab maybe. And that therefore 10 seconds be now test. Just as we do any normal test, the shape bag, no more silly. Into more silly, then you move on. Then the testing happens where it happens at. Then about moving on, you go through the Ghana Health Service right before immigration. A post before immigration, you get there, they check you. At that point, if your results is back, they're going to give you a check which says your results. And that place, so the machine be or more cubicle, top also, it reads your temperature. If you look at more desk in the it tells you the number of people that has gone through the day, the number of possible positive.
So the system is in place.
Yes. The number of possible positive cases that have been tested, it takes your picture and all of that. Until you know what with the GHS cubicle no. So once you go through that, now we are now for the immigration. The immigration will check you and all. Until you say what test number or GHS honum now, you still go through immigration. Then past immigration, there is another post by GHS, right? Ghana Health Service. Ewo honum answer no do customs. And to the last post by GHS, you know, and then there's a test results named by you don't go to customs.
Oh, okay.
And in most cases, you know, you acquired there, don't do now. By the time I do second post, you know, which was about 20 minutes after your test had been taken, or sometimes even
time factor, you know, I'm born tougher. Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah. Because
what questions people say about
okay. And you know, say who do then they will test. And if even or passport number, of course, which you should have because that's what you traveled with. Of course, almost sites in you're able to even check your results, right? And to do Ghana Health last post now, then they'll let you know if it's negative, then you go through customs and then you get out. Udu Kronumuswa, how they treat the corona is another case. But
okay, and it's better. My question be my question I couldn't say. So do you feel say how long did the entire process take you from getting off the plane and getting to customs? And I said coming out of the window, arrive, I don't know. How
it was over an hour.
Because now I can't hear the video and I say it was about 2.5, 3 hours.
It depends on the timing. Who's a do because our delayed flight in you know. Now, you know, the Branco share.
Okay.
Well, and a regular time now, it's likely say KLM lande ya in an hour na ebia British Air lande in ebia 2 hours na ebi no ba lande. In the Abanesana, it could be said there's a backlog or
okay.
It always took us about an hour and a half.
Finny has a question. I was saying now, did you pay another $150 when coming back to the States?
No.
Okay.
If you're coming back to the States, they don't require you to do the test and you don't pay that. What you do is they say, oh, in the flight, you know, they give you a Form B, which is the same to when you are going to Amsterdam. A Form B, not what failing. And it's a health form. Have you been coughing? Have you been doing this? Have you gone to these countries in the last 14 days? Yes or no? And one. And to do Ghana, US immigration now, not major form. No.
So back to my question now. What do you think? Say, do you think say the whole system is in your opinion? No, do you think say MPP are idea for that system? No, and also
men can say MPP are Ghana Health Service.
I idea.
Whether or buy idea no money idea no whatever it is. No, I want to base my conversation on the professionals doing the job.
Okay, so what do you?
And move it past the party colors.
Okay,
so with the Ghana Health Service, no, and as I said the COVID-19 team, you know, with the system they have in place, you know, a year.
Okay.
This is my problem. As human as we are, follow the system, no, it's another thing. When we got off the plane, no, as I said, it's almost 10 in a good budget of 10, right? But what realizing is say, maybe I say it's a lie, no.
So it defeats the purpose.
It defeats the purpose. And more markings, no. You stand here, markings in
okay. Into the main dive deep to that part, no. So now let's dive deep into the $150. Do you think it's worth it to pay the $150 for some buy budget $150 or Kogara?
The cheaper the better. The cheaper the better. Let me say that.
No, this after why you were America, why you were country of original. Do you think it's still worth it to take the money back home?
No, are we saying is it worth it to do the test or to take the money?
No. Why you test one? Is this still worth? You better that secretary there no.
No, that's a tested there. It comes at a cost. So the question I want to know
could it be cheaper?
Could it be cheaper? Okay, that is a different thing. I've listened to some arguments as to the price, right? And I've seen some quotes from different places. So India, $7, right? I think say UK, 200 and something. There are 2 or 3 countries which are more expensive than Ghana, and then there are over 10 countries which are cheaper than Ghana. I've also seen the argument as to what process this is. With all those countries which are cheaper than Ghana, no, you do not get the results before you leave the airport. What do I say? And Obi to say me say no. Ubusa me personally, I would prefer say make you 150 no and get in the country the same day than to go spend even 2 days at a hotel.
Okay.
I make us say my whole trip was 9 days. So quarantine me 14 days. I only what happened. What do I say? I don't have that 14 days to quarantine. Me need that time, you know. The second thing also say me call hotel if even Uchiasa hotel fee the inconvenience of me being in a hotel alone, I rather pay my 150 and get in the country, do what I have to do and get.
Okay, I come with 2 questions. The question, my question, right. Has answer a question. I'm now for my call number to so now Francis Abana be in the final words Abania upon, and then they show the back comments about 10 minutes. Finance say how much does the test even cost you in America? So test no what we know, but I couldn't uchi saying.
Finance no question when they say so insurance it covers it fully.
Yes.
Actually, mine no insurance covered it. In fact, member sample says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's the last question to you, then say, do you think, say, there's a political agenda on this $150 and also know how a price is shooting? I don't make a political agenda, Francis will say.
Because your question, Ghana, we are working as a political.
And people we are and then this is also issue tato. Yo, Martin, that is a whole question. No,
in Ghana, and we are working as a political.
Okay, no, but your friend is about 703 per maybe up to 705. Whatever you have to say about this $150 in the process, no. Quick one,
2 minutes spend on money, no.
Of course, 2 minutes.
So good.
So
good.
Yeah.
Feel good. Now, all Ghana Health Service for Abaso. PK, I will be sending you.
Whether it's a compliment or a challenge, I'll rather take Ghana Health Service.
Yes. And PK, when Francis starts talking, I would push you the video. I was in Ghana for March, maybe July 4th. I was there at almost every Meet the Press during the entire COVID season. Ministry of Information. During one of the Meet the Press, this was exactly on May 28th. I threw a suggestion to Ghana Health Services boss, and I would share that video with you. Now, you let your viewers listen to it. Now, may outline processes it would help them opening the airport. One was the PCR test. Because I had complaints as media representative in Ghana from people not my crap PCR test back Ghana because then not Ghana yet test for 7 days. And I was advocating saying we have to move from that side because 7 days no crowd they cannot trace people who test positive. So it was a problem. I would send you that video. I'm sure say yet Dr. Kuma Abuajidas remember my face a lot, and also Kojo Upon Nkoma was also present that day. I'm glad they said they implemented some of these suggestions that you will be throwing out there for them to do because it was long overdue. 7 days that day. But my problem, just like you said, their president can't the eve of opening. No. You just mentioned one, feel good, but the other contradictory part was which kind of test, and I'm sure Wo being a health professional, no, you should know this. The president had said in his video, said the cost for $150 was for PCR test. Ghanaians woke up when the borders were opened, and Ministry of Information with Ghana Health Service came to clarify, saying test antigen test. They are two separate things. PK, me pacho, we a health professional. You can educate myself and them. Are they the same test? They are not. Antigen DNA and PCR, is it the same?
No, because that's Obisa. You don't give me chance. No, they're not the same.
It is Oman paying the PCR test, and because you can find this video. Okay, that Ghana for. I'm here to project the youth, make sure Ghanaians know what's true. Or catch Ghana for say it's a PCR test. And true, PCR in Ohio, I just called in to find out tests. I hear a cost. I was told, okay, hospital, where you can say Main Street, Columbus, I charge you $155. But again, I know your PCR test. So if Ghana run a PCR test, that's a or do $150, cheaper. But I have a problem if member Ghana. Now me make you $155 if I don't have insurance. Now my PCR. Now me rapid results no. Here in US, me tell $155. Now my Ghana. Now why me antigen test to see whether I have antibodies in here and menya COVID no be the da, which is not PCR test no. Now what give me the same $150? I chrono.
Me pacho no me ba.
Okay, it's not better. So first 6 minutes. Fair young call.
No, I just wanted to make a quick one. The test that who say your antibodies test, your
good
test. Now, the test that they're doing in Ghana is not to test whether you've had it before.
Bampacho, is it the antigen or the PCR?
No, Mebao. And yet antigen is different from PCR. It's also different from antibodies.
Right. But which one do they do you in Ghana? They're in Ghana. Can you tell me?
They're in Ghana, no antigen test.
Me that say.
Meba hine tobo. If not, I'm just educating the public.
Yes.
The test is not to test whether you've had it before, because that's very irrelevant.
Okay.
Can you be paying? There is no reason why I can't be in public.
Right.
Because that is very different. The test is to test to say, do you have it? That is what they are testing in Ghana.
But through the antigen test, no, I only use that reference because through the antigen test, you can also ascertain whether anyone will be done.
Earlier when you're talking, you said to test whether I've had it before. So
that was a mistake. Yes, that was a mistake. But then through that test, you can also see whether the pan will be done.
Okay.
My problem is the cost of antigen test no, under $50. So if you are charging somebody for that, then it raises red flags. Say obi preachable. That's where the problem came.
Okay, obi preachable. Francis.
Maybe.
7 minutes. 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Maybe I will not proclaim to be a health expert. I have not been in Ghana for that matter.
Hold on.
I think so.
You will not proclaim to be a health expert. You're not a health expert.
I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. To be. Are you trying to be diabolic? Are you trying to be diabolic?
The point I'm trying to make is.
Oh, he's being diabolic. Nothing normal.
This is an issue.
It's a no better health professional.
Oh, this is an issue. This is an issue that is.
Just call a spade a spade. Just call a spade a spade. Just call a spade a spade.
No, I made a mistake.
Francis 7 minutes. No,
be ready about passing the 7 minutes.
The point I'm trying to make here is,
but me that's what Ghana.
It is worth. Listen, and I make my background is business management, and so I don't But the point I'm trying to make here is say near wako Ghana ba ono nenu masem na esi etie into me Ghana and I mean health aspect, but from what my brother Phil has recounted. This whole coronavirus, it is uncharted territory for everybody. There are mistakes that countries will make, and in some cases, like in the case of the United States, it costs over 200,000 deaths.
No. Don't take us into no. This is the problem with you. Let's face the question at hand.
I'm trying to make my case.
Francis, you don't have enough time to give me a paragraph. Give me one sentence. Let's go. Now, maybe can I say the question was $150? No. Is it so much? Is it too much? And if not, the second question is, what are you guys using the $150 for?
Okay, the point I'm trying to make here. The point you see, you're taking my 7 minutes. The point I'm trying to make here is this:
7 minutes to talk about the history of coronavirus, how many people is being killed in the United States. I don't care. That's not what we're talking about. We tired of politicians always trying to score some political score by bringing other territories into your conversation. Go straight to the point. Let's go.
Okay.
But we don't have the time. I can't show too many times.
If I can fit what I'm saying in 7 minutes, you're giving me 7 minutes. How?
9 minutes
just
right
stop me when my 7 minutes is over. It's as simple as that.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're not going to give me the opportunity to flow within my
Whenever
7
I
minutes,
stop you tell me I'm always stopping you from flowing. Because you
who my main flow here? You not even let me take even 2 minutes.
I stop you. Okay, I'm stopping you from flowing. But now you are telling me for 7 minutes. So
how many of the 7 minutes do I still have?
I will stay your 7 minutes. Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make is this: coronavirus is a new territory. We will all make mistakes. Meno, all I want to say is, I think, what Ghana has done through the efforts of all Ghanaians under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo, I think it's not been perfect, but we've done some things right. I think Ghanaians need to be commended for that. Now, whether the test paying 150 Ghana cedis or $150 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
As to whether that is, worth it or whatever. I remember when this thing happened, people were being quarantined in hotels, and I think some of them had to pay their hotel fees, right? If I'm correct. We've gone through that phase, and I'm sure people spent over $1,000 during that phase. And now, if the cost is $150 and it is actually money you are paying towards knowing whether you have contracted this very deadly disease. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I have to pay $150 just to know, say, I'm safe as a person, I think that's pretty, worth it, in my opinion.
If you know which kind of test
but at the end of the day, what does the test tell you? The test tells you whether you have it or you don't have it. Intermediate, my point is it looks like.
Okay, I have a question.
Oh, okay. It looks like from what Phil has said, the way I'm for be per se and your economy and conesa, people are people are actually going through this process. It's not perfect, as I said, but it's at least effective in assessing what state people are in as they enter into the country. And to me, at the end of the day, as president of Ghana, no better Kasana.
Oh, Francis, focus and just make your submission.
At the end of the day, President Akufo-Addo's first and foremost responsibility as the first gentleman of the land is to protect the people of Ghana. And as he said, we can bring our economy back. What we can't bring back is the lives that we lose. And throughout this fight, I think, he has shown decisive leadership, and he has not only talked, but he has actually walked the talk. And the evidence pretty much is clear as we see the number of cases from coronavirus, actually, drastically decline, and the questions people raised about
we are not tested.
The questions people raised about whether opening the borders and people coming from abroad was actually, a good thing to do. It looks like the appropriate measures have been put in place to make sure they are not bringing these.
I'll count 2 minutes, right?
These diseases. Intermediate, I'm not going to pontificate as a health expert because I'm not. But common sense tells me, some very pragmatic measures has been put in place, and that is ensuring that is.
I'll count 2 minutes, and my question maybe so not still here. So I will revisit the question again, and now 2 minutes for you, man. Honestly,
thinking about the bush because ultimately you are.
$150. No, because it's all about what you value.
Is it reasonable? Is it reasonable to you?
I think it's reasonable.
Okay.
I think it's reasonable.
It's not just about you. It's about the average Ghanaian who is trying to
go. People pay $2,000 to be quarantined in hotels.
Those were business people who just wanted to go to Ghana and do their own thing.
That is not true.
People pay to be put in hotels.
The person who went to Ghana then, we're not the ordinary people.
No, that's not true.
People pay to be put in hotels.
Okay, no, so when you say the people who went to Ghana,
how many weeks now the average person spends
Okay, maybe. Okay, let me do this real quick.
Me 2 minutes in inside.
No, hold on. Let me do this real quick.
Come on.
And I need to address.
How many person spending 3 weeks?
Oh, no, bet me, Pachameba. Nana Tony Montana. Okay, you see the reason why when Francis was not responding to the issue, and I understand where Nana Tony Montana is coming from. I have to chip in and let him know because it happens all the time. We give the politicians the chance. Again, Tony, I don't know where you stand, but you give the politicians the chance to answer a question. They use that platform to be a campaign message for the masses. And that's what we've been talking about. And this is what Finney has to say. Unfortunately, you didn't even answer the question. And I asked you a question.
I answered your question, sir. It depends on what you value.
The problem I have with you, you like to do it to people on the show. So die now and this it goes back to the fans. Say, I ask you a simple question: what is your take on the $150? And now what answer question? You attempt you answer the question. Oh, see, you don't have anything wrong. Your text is reasonable. So I'm done with you on that point.
You gave me 7 minutes.
Your time is up.
Answering that question would have taken only 10 seconds. You gave me 7 minutes.
You answered the question, and I
mean, seriously. But that's the point I'm trying to make.
Did you answer the question on that?
No, but I answered it in the way I understand it. Let me say, depending on what you value, if my value as a person is the fact, say, I want to get into the country Ghana, knowing my status on COVID-19, paying $550 to know my status is worth it, in my opinion. I answered it.
What you just said right now.
Phil, didn't I say that?
Before I left.
I said that during my first submission. I don't know whether you wanted a yes or no answer, but I made that point very clear in my first submission.
Right now is irrelevant to the question because I knew, according to what Phil just explained, I knew my status before I even went to the country. So why?
But Phil also made a very important point.
Hold on. Why are you telling
the test you took here?
The status of my
no, Paul. The test you took here. The test you took here.
Phil, let's proceed.
I have my 2 minutes is not over, Paul.
Your time is up. Phil, let's proceed.
Okay. As I said, I don't like to politicize every single thing, whether in from any body.
That's what problem.
Let's move beyond that. So now, going back to the $150, what are we comparing it to? Before you tell me something is expensive, do you have the alternative? What am I saying? So let's talk as Sebio professionals and as people who are wanting answers to relevant questions.
That's what I asked you yourself. Because you went to Ghana and maybe.
Yeah, but they mentioned say when we also say in the peak of Corona, the only people that went to Ghana were businessmen. That is why I say it's not fairly true, because there were people travel for various reasons. It could be said my stranded, baby.
I just gave one
of them. Say, I had to go visit, but that visit is very important to me. Hence, I went. Even right now, you're charging $150. People still decide whether to go or not. We're dealing with a public health issue. Now, in doing so, sometimes you put some measures in place which would deter people from coming if it is not really relevant for them to come. In doing so, you deal with the numbers, a reducing number, no amount. Would have been way more than with these measures being in place.
Okay, Google how much.
Okay, where are you buying from? Anything that make us a mummy and two meba. Here, Semeto iPhone you will say, Chrome has say, right? The cost of this phone is different if I buy it from Togo, Nigeria, or Ghana. What am I saying? It will be the same iPhone with the same specifications, but your source of getting it is also different. Maybe the other say, if someone is to challenge the price of the test now, then tell me, say, the government of Ghana or the Ghana Health Service is acquiring the machines at X price. The production or the cost involved in the testing in X amount. Therefore, it comes to X price. Hence, 150 is okay or too much.
If we go there,
we're not doing the business.
We don't want to go there because the company.
Phil, I think so. Right now, I'm having.
The company is not even in China. No bet too, but the company is not in China. Some machine company in China. China no be.
Pacho.
In charge. Me say the company in charge.
Which country?
Okasa back door. It's okay. The point I'm trying to say in the say no bet. The point I'm trying to say me do back for this. The point I'm trying to say, Phil, you made the whole statement, but when you are getting me and some of the viewers off, and they say you are asking, see a person challenging the $150, then you need to know how much it costs the equipment, how much the process is being cost to take effect, but the $150, just like Norbert said, was put in place for specific categorically. Stated said the 150 is for the COVID test.
Yeah.
Okay, it is for the COVID test. I don't need to know how much the equipment costs.
Okay, let me ask you a question. And the question makers and say, who said we have a shop in Ghana, right? One of the items I told. A big item said, I didn't any bought say because US here Tony say. To US, do you know how it got to Ghana? What did I say? There are certain things that goes into cost now. With the COVID test, no better me who say Chrome has say $155, right? Who say UK? Some are paying £120. If you want a quicker,
that is for PCR. Let's get the difference and educate people right. No, don't do that. 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 Yeah, we call Ghana. You have just admitted on
and common sense, Mr. So don't argue with me on.
No, you just admitted. SAU in Ghana. No,
I am not talking about Ghana test. I'm talking about PCR test. United States and United Kingdom.
But we're talking Ghana. Ghana, is it antigen or PCR? Let's let the people know the truth. Okay?
No, when did that lie? When did that lie? See, Michelle. So to bonus you listen to wisdom, Michelle. With all due respect. What I am saying is in the US, you just told us said the PCR test is $150. My brother flew from UK 2 days after I got to Ghana. He paid £240 for his PCR. Do you tell me, the UK PCR is expensive? How do you justify that DS is expensive? Get me out of here. Anything the maker say about the say, compare new maybe there are factors that goes into it. Therefore, if the factors are not known, how do you justify whether it's expensive or cheaper? I don't know why a COVID test also has to be politicized. Can we have a very sound debate as to what is going into it? Now, the NDC has a caucus on health. They have a shadow minister for health. They have a whole department on health. Why can't they come out and tell us, if they want to be engaged in the debate of that? APP for a machine if he has to do this, it costs this much. Hence, we can conclude and say anybody.
Phil, I'm not talking as NDC. I'm talking facts. Let's get it. Let's get to the bottom of this. Your argument is
but your daughter could have done it and it's free because I said earlier.
The argument, no, you are misleading. You are misleading listeners here. Say Ghana forward.
Phil, we are not better about.
No. Wouldn't be.
No, Phil.
With all due respect, no bet. I remember my own year said to try to get or tarnish my integrity.
No, I admitted. You said just in Ghana was antigen. I admitted on the show.
Did I say the one in the US is antigen or PCR?
No, what's it the one in Ghana?
So how do you tell me I'm misleading? No.
The one you did in Ghana. You said yourself.
You do not come to me like that. Please.
No.
Please, with all due respect.
Did you or you did not admit? Did you admit or you did not? Because people have been watching.
You brought me on to tell about the experience, and I've said it. To tell about the test, I can tell you about the test. I'm
PCR and a test.
Michelle Robert. So to come here and tell me I'm misleading the people, with all due respect, Michelle. Michelle. No, Michelle Pa.
I feel kasa.
Two PCR tests in the United States and the United Kingdom. Why are you still talking about antigen in Ghana? Why are you comparing apples to oranges? Please raise up. Come on.
We don't live in UK. Don't confuse people.
No.
We are not talking UK. No.
I'm serious.
No. Okay, maybe.
You are not being truthful. Come on.
PCR,
come on.
And PCR antigen. What is the confusion in this?
I asked you from the beginning. I said, are they the same? I asked you in the beginning. I said, are they the same? You said on record. I said they are not. And I mean,
okay, so what's the confusion?
The confusion is, I have asked you severally. Why are you avoiding to answer to the public? Maybe so because they will buy it. So you educate the public. I am also a public here. I'm not talking NDC. So let's get a point clear. I'm just saying because PK asks a very sensitive question. It's a 150, no, and you're good for everybody. We are talking as if it's Obiana a rich person. Obiana Etisawo, Obiana Etisa Francis. We are not talking about the average person here. We are not being sensitive to that fact. The point of the matter is, the president me on record, and the video is there. I said Ghana is going to charge beginning September 1st for PCR test. Then the next day we get to Ghana. And I said, well, yeah, me antigen test, which is less than $50. Now we're charging the same 150. I got a problem with that. This is what I'm talking about.
I want you to respect the viewers.
Don't confuse the public. Don't confuse people with London. Come on, take the facts, bro. Don't do that.
Listen to me. Tell me. We're not doing a political talk right there. You are not talking to an MPP person or an NDC person.
That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. We are talking the facts.
Listen to me. Me, I'm here the host of the show. I invited you on the show, okay? And I'll buy. I invited Francis on the show. Francis JP and buy. I invited Phil or JP and buy. I will not allow something that will betray somebody else for my next invite on my show. And again, no, for the sake of our viewers,
I won't do that.
Hold on. Norbert, you don't know more than the people that are listening and watching us. Phil doesn't know more than the people that are listening and watching us. And Francis neither know more than the people that are listening and watching us. Me, myself, being on the show, no, I'm not the best host and I'm not the worst host. Yeah, we have the opportunity and the platform to address a specific issue. It's that when I'm hosting the show and ask you a question, I don't need paragraph. Give me straight to the point what the answer is, because that political conversation and when they create all this, when I feel say Norbert has a legitimate question, and I side with Norbert on the question, but your approach, I have a problem with that on my show. It's the best show say. You made a statement or say he will not take that from you, and I will ask you to retract that statement and say, or mislead the people. No, baby, I won't answer no unfair question because
because if your conscience is low enough and you don't understand the level I am at, let me come to your level.
You see, those comments are unfortunate. You see, those comments from you.
I'm just serious.
I mean,
for the respect of our viewers, that is why I kept quiet.
Me too. So Norbert, listen to me. Norbert, I can't hear what you're saying. When you're mute, then people can talk. Phil me about Pacho. Hold on. I don't want nobody to talk. Please, I can end the show right now. Because what we're doing is not healthy for the people. Okay? It's not about us. And that is the problem that I have right now. It's not about us. I'm telling you, Norbert, you've raised a question now. Me person may hate Francis with that question. Okay? And the question is very, very legitimate. And that is my next point. I'm about Francis before we go to our final words. We end the show. But you are messing it up by actually attacking Obia or no. And again, let me reiterate what happened. Norbert beside question said, "That's word now. We say maybe science, but you be that. Bravo. Antigen, one don't know. Norbert made me understand. Say test now. President Tibai, no. President can say it's for PCR and CPR. What I say. So whatever PCR test it was, I'm a yaba crab say yes. Or no crack to the same thing. Arabas will be the same thing. Or move to the same thing. President say it's for the PCR. And I'm not better educate you who say send that test na your Ghana no cano antigen no it no is it the same and I feel will compare me say no antigen is not the no. Mute yourself, please do me the favor, mute yourself. Okay, so now the point that Norbert is asking is say if the PCR itself, the antigen itself, is less than $50. why are we charging $150? And somewhere, somehow, you answered half of the question, saying there's a lot of things that comes to process. So for one to ask the cost of this amount, $150, what goes into it? They should actually back and revamp the cost of the equipment. And I mean, people say cost of equipment in process. How should that friend say bother me? And I want an example about your store in Ghana. Nima Woto store. No people say America you Tony say. Now Ghana, of course, would be do Ghana customs, taxes, this animal all comes into play for the cost price to change to the selling price, and that is how we strike our margins and our profit. So at that point, I don't see the misleading in this. It's just for we to give him the opportunity for him to explain further. And if you still don't understand, you ask for further explanation. But for you to call, say, Uchantro, to me, you'll be using the word like Udiako, Uchantro, when the person is standing, you are not standing there, it's a little bit character dent and a credibility dent. So, Norbert, again, before we proceed, I actually say you retract this statement after we end the show. We retract that statement. That was personal.
No, we're not to end the show. The PK, I'm sorry, but
before you speak, Norbert, I want you to retract that statement. Not for the question, no, because the question is there. But you are messing up the question with the so I want you to retract that statement now about the personal without the man. No. Now you moving on. Mom, you too, Norbert. Mom, you too.
If you want me to retract that statement, which I generalized, I said, let's not mislead people. You can go back and play it. People listen to it. Okay, you have asked me to do something.
That's not what happened. I have to address it. Norbert, say you are misleading. One guy said we are misleading. You are misleading people.
Okay, I am going to speak. Say, let's not. That's what I said. You can go back and replay it. Let's not. I always make sure because me feel good. I won't sit on this platform and insinuate anything. Mr. said, from my submission from beginning till now, have I not even praised that? Say, oh, we are health professional. Can you answer this? Can you answer that? Why would I then suddenly turn around and dent him? I have not even mentioned SAOB, cancer, low IQ to descend. I just took it like he's just talking emotional. I'm okay with that. But
no, I'm not talking emotional.
Never would I say SA. But that statement is much damning than what PK is asking me to retract right now. So because you want to
repeat out what confirms you can.
I'll retract that statement any day. But you see, I just want him to understand it's maybe a simple question. And it's just fair. As I said, we don't beat about the bush. It's just fair. It's just fair. Okay. This is not political.
Let me say something.
I have been in this whole movement from Ghana. I was in Ghana from March. Phil, I was in Ghana from March. I can send you all the videos, meet the press here. I have been there. I represented Top TV, Top Radio. When it comes to this COVID, in SEM going back and forth, I have been in it. I'm not saying I'm the expert of it, but what I'm saying is when we are speaking truth to people, let's analyze the thing. You mentioned say apples and oranges. What we are saying here is just off. You were truthful enough to tell Ghanaians, I say, you had a problem with President's statement that Omeki said 72 hours before, and then embassy came to say something contradictory. And say you left one more. President mentioned PCR. I'm glad say viewers also Urban account have said the same thing. The records are there, the videos, they go and watch it. President mentioned PCR. So how come say overnight so people get to Ghana and they are being tested for antigen? Let me throw a question on my say we are health professional. I respect that. Okay, and which one were you tested? And you said on record say antigen. So now the argument or the whole debate should be say how much does this cost? And I'm probably more Ghana, but so I can say Ohio have me be and I'm afraid. Okay, and an agent can say they charge $155. No, but you see, I have not been personal with you. Why? I clearly take it back. Okay, I'm not trying to go personal with you. If that's how you saw it, then you're wrong. I just always want to say, let's not speak US. We'll get the right picture. That's all.
No, but you made a point. I say, Phil, Michelle, I can statement now make here. No. Can you retract that back and let's move forward?
No, I don't have a problem with it.
maybe, but I don't know. Cast tests how do you use IQ? For I don't know that because one of cast is a man because some of you know so I couldn't hear each other. So many contests how you use the IQ for say
let's move forward. Let's move forward. It's okay.
You've taken 5 minutes to talk and explain. Now you tell me, say, let's move forward, Mr. Just quick one. For the sake of our viewers, Mr. Mo, who is there? Sometimes we BB and somebody tries to come at you that way. Sebe, na enyefe. What am I saying? Now, I don't want us to play semantics, but when I am talking and you say let's not crumple now. If that is what you said that. Who are you referring to? As I said, I don't want us to get into semantics. So no, but what's why? Yeah, me I don't have a problem. But in fact, I did not say low IQ. That is not what I said. I said if you lower. Let me know where you are, and I can bring you up. That is what I said. So now, as I said, I don't want to.
I think I need to come in here and
answer the question. Let me say something. Francis, let me say something. Sebe, say
moderate the show for me. I'm moderating the show. Thank
you. Say BBC me baso na I said it. Let's not always. We are the boarding. NDC the man the boy. MPP the man the boy. So now they now talk as MPP in the man boy, NDC in the man the boy. Personally, I try to move away from that. Okay. So now the American say with the antigen test, and I say with the test in Ghana, we are asking, is it worth the $150? Our question is, what is the basis to say whether it's worth it or not worth it? Many people I don't know. Ain't it no bet? I'm not moving away from whether it's an antigen or a PCR. No. But the mention say, now, the comparisons I have heard, and they say some places are charging X amount. Okay?
For which kind?
What's it?
For which kind? That's
for the antigen. For the antigen.
No, go back. Read those lists again.
X amount.
Yes, because it's lower. There's no country. There's no country because there's no country charging $100.
Listen,
antigen.
Robert, now I have a problem with you. You're not listening. You're missing the point. You're jumping the gun all the time. Who are military?
Yes.
Some places.
Go ahead.
Some places are charging X amount.
X amount. X.
Okay.
So why don't
you? Listen, Mitowasio. But if again you tell people as
I'm
here just to provide concern. I don't want to get into that. Leave me out of that. They mentioned say some places are charging X amount, which comes with X conditions. What am I saying? I'm not saying the price is okay. And no bet, I am not rich, Michelle. I am not. And what I'm saying is if we want to argue the price, on what basis? My question, no. I'm not saying whether the 150 is too much or it is okay. No, because I don't know what goes into it. But the Busan say on what basis? So I can say maybe to $7. Nemo me that hotel for 3 days. At that cost, I come with is it okay? Media, I'm just asking questions. I'm not saying you okay and then you're okay. Media is just the basis for which we say we're body and not wherefore. But in terms of experience, and I say in terms of preference in there, as I said personally, though Sebe, I'm not that rich, but for convenience, get into the country and do what I have to do.
You think, sir? Phil, that is what I'm saying. Okay, Phil, at one point, we used to have people go to quarantine 14 days and they have to pay the money for that. So they paid over 2,000 to go to the quarantine way. And now we are the 150. We understand it, say, it's better than Ubeko Hotel. Do you think, say, what you know and the test is that because at one point now we can now test the baby from the state. Okay. So do you think say the test now 150 do you think say it could have been lower?
It could be lower, yes.
Okay, it's you first see now without a further explanation, Francis, now this is what we're talking about. The 150, could it be lower? Because what Casanova Kabibi said, there's actually been instances whereby now there've been some hiccups with the process. So there could be something done about it. Do you think, say, the 150 could have been lower and now so we feel say okay, the careful we can account and the 150 do okay. Quick one, young call.
Media, send a meeting can. This whole what charging 150 minimum to be some, I don't know the difference between an antigen test or
like business
meaning I don't know whether the difference is in the effectiveness of the test to predict whether you have COVID or not, as opposed to, I don't know. But what I can tell you is I happen to be an operations manager in the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry. And I know very well the costing that goes into the manufacturing of these drugs. I know a drug that we used to spend on a unit base only 5 cents to make.
We don't care.
But we were charging. Well,
we don't care. Go straight to the point. Do you think they want to do too much on that?
You see, that's my point. You want to dictate to me how I want to make my point, and that's not fair.
I'm not dictating to how to make
fair. You give me time to talk. Let me make my case.
To this conversation,
no. If you're gonna do me like that, then it's not fair.
That's fine.
That's not fair. You're giving me time to talk.
No, that's fine.
You're giving me time to talk.
Giving us scenarios of different drugs and prices.
Oh,
let's go straight to the point. This is what I talk about.
I mean,
always doing this work.
If you want to dictate to me how I make my case,
the same thing I'm not
then why do you bring me on the show?
The same thing away in a different angle, and that is what you politicians do. You guys take for a ride.
If you're dictating to me how I have to make my case, why do you bring me on the show?
I ask you a question. Answer my question.
But BK, what be some question?
Oh, me go in accordance to policy and agenda.
No, I don't even know why you're going back and forth with me. Because so what be some question? If you have a an answer scheme for your questions, let me have it in advance. But what be some question? Let me answer it the way I want to answer it. Let me draw from my experience.
So it's about how you want to answer, but what the viewers.
See, me, I am currently working on manufacturing the vaccine for the COVID. So I have a different perspective when it comes to this whole crisis. So let me draw from my experience. Don't dictate to me how I answer my questions.
So the question to you is, can you answer the question? Say $150. No. Is it more? Could it be more? And I say, you think it's too much.
But that's what that's what I'm trying to explain to you. A lot goes into costing. Until you can say, because Ghana is charging $150 necessarily, be bonny be cost. I just will be this and you see, I hate to do this, but I think many people, especially those in the NDC, maybe based on their past experiences in doing some of these things and then gaining at the expense of Ghanaians, they think that's what people do. It's normal. Say $150 definitely be baby, but that's not the case. That's not it. US. How much does
antigen test cost Ghanaians?
People pay over $400 for insulin here in the United States. You go to Canada, they pay less than $1. How about that?
Yeah, can't wait. Where I was insulin. Come on. How much does antigen test cost in US?
Am I lying? I'm not kidding. I'm not lying. You cannot take on the face value. Ghana charge $150 into
if Ghana
charge $150 into whatever it is. Baby. No. We are delivering for the people of Ghana, and no money is going anywhere. And I make media from where I sit as a person, say if I have to pay $150, not to be assured, say I don't have the COVID, that I'm not a carrier, so I can infect the people I love. I think it's very worth it. And I said I feel kind of the test before and after you go to Ghana. The before is actually to prevent you, if you have it, from going to Ghana in the first place. And I feel I
I think that's the main. The before.
Right. If you have it there, you don't even go on.
Yeah, if you have it, you don't even go there.
You see,
and the after.
Maybe, hold on. This is where Norbert Kasa, you guys have a problem with it. You are speaking, make your point. You don't need to bring Philip into it because I saw number 4 say you guys are tagging against him, and this man is
not tagging on him. Philip is a health expert. I'm not.
But when you bring him in the conversation like that, if I'm being a political person in Norbert's shoes, I feel say you target Philip in to have a just make your point.
I am just seeking clarification because Phil had effectively explained the reasons behind the testing before you board your plane and the testing when you land in Ghana. The testing before you board your plane was to actually see people who had symptoms of it and had tested positive, so they don't get into Ghana in the first place. And the testing when you get to Ghana is to ensure, say, if you have it, the necessary measures are taken so Ghana, you don't infect people. It's as simple as that. Maybe this whole COVID situation, it is new, but through decisive leadership, Ghana has survived.
That's it. I'm not before you speak. No. I feel that me say more. I think Obi can pass Ghana yempe democracy.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Obetemeka. Ma you feel that's abrabio. Obetemeka. So, and again, the point I was trying to make, what you guys are saying.
Can't hear you.
So if you can hear me, and I tap on my screen, I can just say fix the sound, and now I fix the sound. No, tap on my screen. Otemeka. No, but Otemeka. And then I'm taking you. I'll come back. I'm taking you.
On joining link in the back. But is it because the point I'm trying to make here is
no.
$150. $150.
No, Francis, you already made your point. You see, this is the problem I have with you. Okay, say we are. That will be better.
Problem, yeah.
Let me make
a problem. We know a problem.
Okay, let me make a yikaka. Who's there? Sometimes, interesting the way we always have to look at something in a particular lens.
That's the point.
Francis, you didn't come as a sometimes we lose a semna kasa a war.
Thank you.
And that is why I make us say we are boa, whether it's NPP or NDC. If you take a say NPP or NDC, mommy and two because if we continue that trajectory now, I've seen Finney Hass's comments. Yes, it's true. It's very unfortunate, but I said, okay. So to go on, we're talking about COVID, and we're talking about its related issues and the cost element involved. Now, once again, what are we saying said the body, and what are we comparing it to? No. Now, when you say antigen test, and Norbert, you are right. Once again, antigen is very different from PCR. Okay. But when you say antigen test, the turnaround time is not the same as 15 to 30 minutes. Also now PCR test it takes 72 hours to 7 days to get results. 24. And so we catch him and say, oh, what are you there 24 hours? I joe $100 ne board there. What do you now take you 7 days? Are we comparing the same thing? And I don't have, and once again, I don't have an issue as to whether they board there and they board for. And I'm not saying that because I can afford. Far from that. But what I'm saying is, Sebe, see can one boy any intimacy I say for the same sanity. Indicate my say. Nicole comments and I love it. Also, I did the veto shoes at Canada, which is fine. Whatever share. And to the 150 need there. Of course, because that 150 could have been my chocolate.
Okay, feel me, that's it. Since at this point, I'm just gonna make my point as I was making, So Mikasa, we have a problem, we'll be cut so that Mikasa up so cut me. Like sure, no, I didn't see so that's it. So my problem with Norbert and Francis, they said they are very two intelligent people. Yeah, me and they say they both know the truth. But when it comes to say Ukrainian car, no the political color no akatomeni, and they always want to tilt to the side. May say insure tono. Send insure ye and the Sassuni Riabeye. Send insure Sassuni Riabeye. Now Mumaya Musa in Kuto Ninchine. Say insure toa, Nafi Kuto S Renchine. A Rianya boy and I in Kuto. And that is the problem that we're having right now. I'm telling you guys on authority sector, Francis were NDC. And I came NDC for years, our policy where it would have been a bigger problem. And now no better to MPP. And then Kadi Wekoswa would have been, oh no, you exactly. I bet your business terminologies. This makes sense. And all the simple questions people want to know say, do you guys think say, oh, what do you mean say, oh you NDC ni, mean so you MPP ni, wakume muno, oh feel say, anka as an MPP person Francis no, anki yete so kakra, kabe buana. Is it possible? That's a simple question I just asked. It's yes. Oh yeah, yeah. This about but no. Now for the work, but we are catching. I'm not telling nobody how to answer the question or nobody how to go about it. But the person catching say, yeah, the must say you're from mobile show. No, what me buy? If you get invited to the show, I'm gonna don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Pacho. Don't do this to me. Because the next thing you do to, I'll take you off my show. Don't do this to me. So let me say the next time I met from to the show, the show, we're going to have decency on it. If you're not, it's going to end up being like this. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be happy with me. And to say, me for now, but not say, because I did so actually a politician, right? So, I'm first floor now. Wake us up 5 minutes, wake us up. Then the moment of going to the third way round, they start to bring in the diabolics and the propaganda just to deter each other from talking. And that is one, NDC, you're a very popular person, Sami Jeffy is known for. And people have, I have a problem with that. But at the end of the who am I? And I say, Chamawu to become who am I? What's I make? And I say, no. Chamawu to me also have some sort of tendencies like that to the MPP. And this is where you guys need to sit down. Also, by MPP, the same thing. You guys are the same, we're from the same fruit from different branches. The same people, and you guys are not doing us a service. This show is not a political show. This show is our Rise Ghana Youth. We talk about everything that the Ghanaians need to know. When it comes to for next week, like this, we're going to talk about common sense family for no more ideology and stuff like that. So when you guys come on this show now, please give us the decency. Now, educating you. Hey, say that Francis is not just a politician. No, I can see him through being another person who's appointed NDP before you had oh Francis, NDP before you had even and all right,
but I've always been truthful.
And finally, the last point I want to make, because after this show, my statement after this will determine whether we're going to have you guys back on the show or not. On you guys, your friend is a discretion. The final thing I want to say is, Francis, not better start here. You interjected not better twice. Obi and Hunyadi not better. Not better. Start Okasa not better. Suban not better. Wonimu salot here. What do you now? Be by you, not better to DBO, not film by you, but film by now. One and I make a say, make a say, Jacasano. But Obi and Hunya, dear, not bet. Because Odi, not better, dear, me shut up, John, Monday, twice. You see how things goes. Let's be fair with each other on this show. Nanya fair, not your phone, and she'll be being film. Now, Miss Metia said, no, more educating me. Who trying to trust my soul 9? That's what I want to say. On this note, no, be any final words. 2 minutes each, Mr. Rao. So, oh, mommy, teases, no. Now, so we now the 2 minutes, but to answer my question, I'll cut you off. Mr. Rao, 2 minutes.
I'm starting a politician.
It's no corner, no better, but Francis about.
When you Mr. Rao, answer the politicians, become on. It's here for Madam was say, actually, HRE Madam was say, Mamma, me, I said, remember, and member share, Kakamini. Say program no na so want bibia mekai asia you can reach me at feelgoodservices@gmail.com. Na me explain here ma until me shemo everything that I said was based on my personal professional opinion and nothing else.
And your experience with the trip, right?
Yes, I have my experience with the trip. And you know me riabo e bofi wiem insoto e tofi wiem me damase.
Thanks for coming on the show. That was the feel good near 10 and can you need to be median come no or sister or Casimina says everyone tell us here all call feel good service and I say be a feel good I mean find the into so cram the email address no or sister call feel good some more fan chemi or call feel good service @gmail.com or sabe can na video the office or to man be a what man no I will that side or no so white my actually Samre yo Norbert your opposition party. Obi say Baku bleedi and Baku feel it. And I say bleeding into no. I'm about to mean can your person and Casa Assembly. And then you feel it why comfortable to whom be the Kameme Kwanka MPP for. And I say NDC for Mobile Bema move these two parties, Mobile Bema, and come penny for Nayamo be Sudan. And Kebia, you first say Elantra, Camry, near the mammy says Quasubuchi. Now Lankusana would them now, Jamamutomana, my brand into no. You guys don't feel what's me move funny feeling. No, you guys don't feel it. No, but to find out where's near uncle.
PK, Medase, for the opportunity granted. Again, I don't know whether you checked now, so yeah, about test.
What's the name of you want?
Yes, Mesendeo, US Department of Health. I just wanted, you see, unfortunately, we were not able to let viewers yes, we're not able to let viewers and understand what you had tried to ask. The question was just open, and so it had hidden elements in it. Me amete 150. Sir Oka said this week, me Ghana 150 were US Institute of Ghana. I can afford it. But the question is, can the average person afford it? And this is not an issue, say ABR. Yeah, because we just want to sideline those who choose Ghana going as a priority. So we need viewers might not know, but come October 1st, which is coming Thursday, you see a beer registration for people. And as we speak this week, people who are going to Ghana, majority even have the opportunity to go and register to get their voter side. We'll be in for 1 day, according to 4 count. Those who are 50, those who just turned 18 after registration, of course. Meaning say, okay, obi corner say, in Hiantia, those that can afford should go out. Then you're not being fair to all. My stance on this particular question, I'll be saying, was not political, and I'm sure the listeners would have known. It was not partisan. I was speaking as an ordinary Ghanaian. I was speaking as a Ghanaian youth. Because, Sebe, there are 3 types of tests, and I just want people to know. You can research it. Oh, that be kind no that me poacher. No. 1 minute.
Robert, you can antigen antibodies and a PCR. You can't even add
okay. Intimidate. If Ghana air, good. If Ghana air, maybe mine was say either say somebody misled the president, because you see that's where I just wanted us to delve on. The president be catch there in conform in this record of video say charge PCR test. Na ade chenye obi at the antigen air contest to be now or gen the same money. Now either say somebody misled the president.
What do we be? Tony messaging as I say Afrostro. Tony Montana Kasembi. Or see, it's actually not even run by the government. It's a private entity.
It's a private entity which was set up in a 3 days.
Why we blaming the government? Why we blaming the government for this?
No, that's why I said this has nothing to do with government. This is not political. This is the Ghana Health Services with Noguchi.
Honestly, I didn't see anything political in your submission. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that you're interjecting a lot, and also there's kind of personal attack.
Apologies on that.
Your questions were legitimate, in my opinion.
This contract was given by Noguchi. Noguchi na hand contract.
Your questions were legitimate.
Noguchi na hand contract were over. Noguchi na hand contract were over to a private entity which was set up in a tax haven. Okay. In a tax haven, 3 days, they had a contract manual. 3 days. Did not go to parliament. It was so sourcing. And no done change. But if the president tells, yes, but if the president tells the world, they say, PCR in Ghana for you, charge him from September 1st. Now, are they change? Now say, Okuhu and Ghana for be echo who said, Dabi, president said PCR. Until why? Because me met Marco Jaya for maybe someone said, president said PCR. Until why are you charging me and testing me for a cancer antigen? A legitimate question I would ask because me not
and I agree. Me that say, you understand. Me that say. Robert, any attendant can before say Francis Bebe no. I should for now me mama announcement to say you show need the no any 2 hours or mama yama 3 hours. Now me come also say right after this show I going to Musem Eba with my favorite panelists Araba Yaba Akosia Williams Anna AJ. Now we're going to be talking about Germany. Brante now or call Ghana. Ghana can find the best friend. the best friend if you Ghana buy or Gene 15,000 euros. Or we ain't also no abana won club, you know. And when you discuss right after the show. In 2 we are as a show this year and crack it a quancha honoma, best also the other one the bebramo. And no air quencho musem. Now way I ye no Jumedina ye one saying no basically arise Ghana youth. Not just say yeah, you may say, yeah, sorry, nah yen waking up from this political brouhaha because too much. Let's educate ourselves what is going on in the country instead of bleeding party colors. Let's bleed country colors for God and country. Francis, what final words?
My final words is this: if you are a youth of Ghana, come December 7th, you have 2 choices.
That's right.
A choice between the MPP and a choice between the NDC, and you know. It is a clear choice, in my opinion, who the people of Ghana should give the mandate to rule the country. Media, in my opinion, the MPP has done a lot to deserve a second term, and this is why. If you are in Aguna Secretariat, right, you are seeing for the first time a rice processing plant in your town. If you are in Sawom, you're seeing a tissue processing plant. If you are in Kumfi in the central region, you're seeing a juice manufacturing company for the first time in Kumfi. If you are in Gomwa, you're seeing Casa de Ropa. If you are in Atebubu, Mountain, you're seeing a cassava processing plant. That is the choice you have, as opposed to a government that came to power, took Ghana to IMF, took interest rate to 35%, took inflation to almost 19%, cancelled allowances for teacher training teachers, cancelled allowances for nursing training students, and took, as I'm saying, we Ghanaians experienced 4 years of doing so. And media, the choice is pretty clear. You have a choice between a government that is bold to make promises and fulfill within the first term, flagship programs like the free HSS, making it possible for over 400,000 students who otherwise may not have ever made it to secondary school. That is a choice you have. That is a choice you have. We have, unlike any elections, this time Ghanaians have 2 candidates who have had a shot at the presidency. And for me, the contrast can't be any huge. The contrast is pretty clear. The contrast between Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP government and their achievement within the last 3.5 to 4 years stands tall, far outweighs the achievements of the NDC for the last 8 years they came to power. And I hope Ghanaians will not only reward the MPP, but will reimpose their confidence in them. What do you want to say? So we can continue the good works that we've done. We are not there yet. The vision is to take Ghana to a point where we are beyond aid, and that's what we are. That is the path we are on. Industrializing Ghana, educating our country, making sure we are eating what we produce and producing what we eat and exporting some of it. Making sure we are energy. Our security with respect to energy is secured and all those things. Intermediate. What's my final words? Let's continue pushing.
No. Well, that's what they be American. What can I say? What's my final words? I feel like our final words. It's a campaign. What's your final words?
No.
Wait. I'm telling you, what you want authority to wait. I would never give you. So ebusia for I'm saying they did you media ABC. Then you have my Teneka Francis Donko Ebusi, National Youth Organizer, MPP or USA. And I have my Bennett, Norbert Sunia Tenen Cardinal, a communications officer, NDC. You guys have listened to the way they talk. Very great, talented, educated people, knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable. Omusika dosu bebrinti no. Timemufo no potom na monti ase. Omukasa no troka as I said nkruma ade ache so. Troka na nkruma no enyinya ekrampo no eye troka na ensanyinya ka ho. Na troka. What I say? Almost no mukasa ne. O final words on this koma ye di no. Am a campaign. Am make up no person or ya convince me. Or am a campaign lectures. What I say? So final words on $150 and then some of your bro so in there. That's what we get from our politicians. And there's no different from NDC in our town or sister. It's even as either worse or equal.
You are wrong.
No. You guys are all
the final words. The difference between MPP and NDC.
You guys are all
the have a question though.
No. Darkness.
I have a question though.
It's
light and darkness. The difference between the MPP and the NDC is light and darkness.
The Sakawa deals
light and darkness.
The Sakawa deals, Ameri deals.
The Sumne Hain.
The Sakawa deals are Moyano. And I don't know. I know.
The show is mine. Into Obidomako to back door. I'm not saying say Omamamono is the same thing. I'm not saying Omamamono is the same thing. But what I'm trying to say is Omokasa, their communication skills is the same thing. Is the same thing. There's nothing different from MPP in Kaswabeka and the NDC in Kaswabeka. No, but yeah, that's to say it was Afra or by.
Who beside me question though?
Question Bear.
Minkai. Who is beside question?
Question Bear.
Who catch him say about the saying and Oma Payma Matna or can't say Mema or make sure say Emma or Biara and the Fakas, not Otna Homa and Kofo. To talk cars in their names.
Yes, but some of my mind discussing.
That would be a legitimate question. I'm sure I just need to. I'm just giving you one reference article on BBC.com. BBC.com.
You see, you pay me who's in the chicken board. That's just same thing. Your dog to Kudua.
Main Kasaho.
MPP is not here to defend.
For article to go read. And you're defending. No, this is not defending. You have called an ex-president to order. It's just fair. I just quote you an article from a foreign source, BBC. When you're Ghana web, when you're my jaw online. 30 seconds. I actually sent it to you. If you could later on show Etiefwa, it would help. But there is clearly an article.
30 seconds, Naso.
BBC.com dated 27th October 2016. Ghana passes law to evict ministers. It tells you here on that article, no, you can share it because Minister Sendeo say outgoing ministers in Ghana could forcibly evict from their official residence if they fail to move out in time under new laws. This was a law passed by ex-President Mahama before he left office.
Okay, so what does that got to do? What does that got to do with the vehicle?
Under that law, no, it clearly stated Parliament assigning law and he had to sign before December 7th elections 2016. I say, won't me fa official car bianco. If you now you have to evict before.
Yes.
If a president was that bold to take this decision, that's a worker say or tna homa ebinim sign here. PK, I believe it's not fair because one.
No. There are also documents Abronya DC, Echo 2, Echo show your documents now. President is ministers be to talk us.
No, it's not the president of any country and signing off cars at home. It's Abronya DC. Yes,
documents
check that.
Signature that's and
no. It is not TME. Viewers, listeners here would also tell you there's no precedent, not even Nanado, and signing documents off for cars by ministers. It's not true.
Okay.
Obetima signing off ABA law be say, MPs want new cars. Now we're signing, but say minister be per se or no talk be one in China. And your president na ebejina honum assign if abronye the documents you bejina that's based on that no because you use that to tell listeners to viewers I'm just quoting you BBC source. But no. Please take your time, read it yourself. There was a law. There was a law that was signed by Mahama.
Maybe send videos now, bro.
What I'm saying, it is not a matter of videos. If you have a propagandist like Abronya talking on radio station,
yeah, point show no. Why? Me that say why? I'm a politics man kind of catch Ghana. That could shout. I should find that when you ask say mo share my day Jimmy Day come someone a torch maybe a mo fa enche ye per se you man a torch massa na emom no we hope to say they be done ye day and my papa brem na fi dey Jimmy Day no aye kama we any extra mo some cause and support Jimmy Day na ye di ewo HITV no na that's an ye best so ehye biom I mean that about for most of your snake, I did you be every munina. I say, so I made that Obi Biara share be as I say, with the trader passes or share so a man now check quite probably to went at Cabodibia, and then we feed the Nucobia, yeah, quite abasis and the Aquinto Musem, Abraham, Aquinto Musem, that is in the Alcoso Aquinto Muni. We are suffering no, and the Nina Abraham Nafide ya dia to baby or see ye to me producer director or Jina Fidelity a omi me Fidel Efuma Nana Akusi wise that wise a production and also a snake did you with Abraham with the sponsors in also as Feel Good Services, Top Hub, and also the Happy Glow GH where your beauty is pronounced. But some for HRPK and I'm today go my minimum edit you media come mene my baby for Francis Donko Ebusi Anna Bill Norbert, as well as Feel Good Services himself. Munyina, Yakopo Enkoso Kamo, Makramo. Bye bye.